morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Odds here. It's Sunday morning. The Raptors are playing the Hornets today. 6 p.m. tip-off, just so y'all know. It's a little bit earlier. If y'all are going to the game, get down there earlier because the game's going to start at 6. So be ready. Sunday afternoon start, 6 p.m. Let's go. All right, let's do the injury report. First of all, Charlotte Hornets. They do have some injuries. Recently, Brandon Miller, their rookie, has been missing games. He's day-to-day today. I'm not totally sure if he'll play today, guys. He's been missing games recently, just so you know. Seth Curry, the brother of Steph Curry, is out, according to the injury list right now. That may not be totally true by the end of the day, but right now he's been out. Cody Martin also has been out recently. So those are the injuries for the Hornets. Brandon Miller day-to-day, Seth Curry and Cody Martin out. Now, who are the Hornets at this point? The Hornets have changed. They have changed a bit. We just saw Dallas. So some of the Dallas players are on Hornets now, and some of the Hornets players are in Dallas now. There's been a bit of a switch. Of course, Trey Mann showed up from the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's their new starting point guard with Rozier in Miami now. So Trey Mann is the new starting point guard, maybe a little less experience, little more firepower as far as like energy and trying to do stuff. So we got to watch out for him. Of course, Miles Bridges playing for them also. Nick Richards is the starting center. Misic is one of their players. Davis Bertans. I could see Bertans starting tonight because of their injuries. Grant Williams could be starting, former Boston Celtic and pain in the ass. Grant Williams on the Hornets. He's such a pain in the ass. He's found himself in Charlotte at this point. Marquise Bolden, Bryce McGowan's, Nick Smith Jr., Alexi Poku is in the lineup for the Hornets now, just recently acquired off of the waiver wire as far as he was let go. And the Hornets picked him up. So the slender man, Alexi Poku, is in the Hornets jersey today. Amari Bailey, Leaky Black. That is basically the Hornets team. Yeah, a bunch of everybody and nobody. Yeah, I mean, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, these are respectable players. These guys are pretty good. Other than Miles Bridges is not respectable as a person, but on the court, you got to respect him. Yeah, I don't know. We need to win this game. I think the shock of Scotty's injury is still very fresh, but they've had some time to adjust since the game. They know that Scotty's not going to be available, and they hopefully Darko and them have made a game plan around the Raptors that are healthy, and figured out how they're going to do this with Scott being out for a bit. I just watched the video that Jillian shared in our Facebook chat, and it was very illuminating about the Raptors, Scotty Barnes' injury, the fracture to his third metacarpal bone of the left hand. He said that he thinks he'll be out about a month, is what the doctor said. He made the same mistake I made. He thought that he had hurt his hand hitting the rim, and he had to make a correction video, this doctor. So, I mean, I don't feel so bad. I was wrong. Yes, it wasn't on the rim. It was on Emmanuel's leg. You can see it very clearly the way the doctor had the video in his video, how it happened. It very much was kind of just a thing where Scotty was wrenching his hand coming up, and he just caught Emmanuel's back of his calf, his like shin, and it just wrenched that middle finger on his left hand back and broke his hand. Now, this dude was saying that like that bone, it's about a month is what he said. He said in football you could keep playing because they just put a big cast on it and you can keep playing because they immobilize it and it's not dangerous to you. So a broken hand in football is no timeout apparently, but in basketball it matters. So they're going to say about a month. Now I look at the calendar, we got all of March. And we got 2 weeks of April. So there are 2 weeks after that month. If Scotty's very quick healer, we could see Scotty back for April. And let's hope for that. I honestly want him to come back and play. I don't want them to shut him down. I think he probably is in the same line of thinking as I am, that I want to come back and play before the end of the season. I don't want to. I'm not lazy. I don't want y'all to just say, "Oh, he's shut down for the season." No, this man's got 60 games down. If he can play 5 more games at the end of the season, he should try and do that, because then he can be in contention for postseason awards. So if he misses the month of March, comes back for some of the games in April, well, that would be successful. He doesn't even have to come back for all the games in April. He can just come back for some of them, and we can weigh whether it's worth it or not. I think that if he can heal in the month of March and play in April, we should do that. I personally think that, but it may not be, it may not be up to Scott totally. He may not be able to be allowed to do that, considering all that. Marquise Noel is the other injury with the hamstring. Other than that, that's it. Scotty and Marquise. It's sad to see. They've taken Scotty off the depth chart on ESPN, and they put Kelly in there already. So they're ESPN's already saying, okay, the Raptors are going to start Kelly Olynyk in the place of Scotty Barnes. I don't know if, you can make an ass out of you at ESPN assuming this. There's no word on who the official starting lineup will be with Scotty Barnes out. So don't assume that. Just because Kelly started the second half, don't assume that shit. Seriously, ESPN. We don't know who's going to be the starting person in the place of Scotty Barnes today. So don't even try and assume that. But they think it's Kelly. So we'll see if they're right. They could be. I mean, I think it's either going to be Kelly or Bruce. There's a very outside chance that they want to start Grady Dick. There's a very, very outside chance. I say the choice is Kelly's probably the number 1 contender. Bruce is number 2. Grady's number 3. And then the 4th contender may be Chris Boucher. Those are the 4 starters I could see them possibly starting in the place of Scotty tonight. It's probably likely to be Kelly, but I could see it being any of the other 3 guys just for different reasons also. Very, very interesting. All right, let's do our ref report. The refs tonight are interesting. They're not totally horrible, but they're not the best either. Let's just put it that way. We don't have a very good track record with these refs this season. Let's just put it that way. The crew chief is the family guy. We got Mark Lindsay today, 18th season out of Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. One of the most prominent members of the Pennsylvania referee mafia, but he's so nice. He's such a family guy that you can't hate him. And in some ways, he is a really kind of good ref. Like, I've watched Mark Lindsay pretty closely. There's subtle things he does to manipulate, but mostly he is on the up and up. I'm going to tell you that right now. His favorite TV show is Family Guy. His favorite movie is The Shawshank Redemption. He likes to listen to Dave Matthews. His favorite book is Can't Hurt Me. His favorite app is Apple Podcasts. He'd most like to visit Rome for a family trip to Italy. And his hidden talent is spelling. Once again, he is the speller. I still don't understand how we can put that in the talent show, Mark Lindsay, unless there's another ref or 2 that are into spelling too. Maybe you guys can have a little spelling bee, and whoever gets eliminated loses, and you can be like a spelling bee champion. I don't know if that wins a talent contest, though. I'm just going to say that. Mark Lindsay is the best ref for the Raptors today. It's kind of weird, though. He's good for us, but I'm shocked at how high the winning percentage for the Hornets is. Mark, we win 57% of our games with Mark Lindsay, the highest percentage of the 3 refs tonight. And we've lost the last 2 games that Mark has reffed this season. And the Hornets win 52% of their games. That's very high. The Hornets having a higher than 500 average against with him at reffing is very much a red flag. I'm going to say that right now. The Hornets should not have above 500 record with him. They have not been good for a long time. And him having a 52% win record with the Hornets is a little bit of a red flag. I want to say that. So 57-52, the split for crew chief Mark Lindsay favoring the Raptors. The second ref is the infamous and notorious Natalie Sago. Natalie Sago, 7th season out of St. Louis, Missouri. Her favorite TV show is Unsolved Mysteries, which I give her major points for. Her favorite movie is Hardball. She likes to listen to Morgan Wallen. Her favorite book is Winning. Her favorite meal is steak. She likes to use Instagram. She wants to go to Fiji. She wants to go to all 30 MLB stadiums. And her hidden talent is juggling. Now, I could see her juggling in the Ref Talent show at All-Star Break and maybe winning. We have to see how good of a juggler she is. Now, do you employ a unicycle or any fire, Natalie Sago? Because that could go a long way in the referee talent show at All-Star. the juggling competition. Yeah, do it. She's got her Aussie Doodles, bogey and divot. That's right. Natalie Sago is actually the worst ref for us today on the down low, I think. Yeah, she is. We won and lost this season with her. The last 2 games we won, and then we lost the last one. We're 47% winning percentage with her around 47, and the Hornets are 50%. So she actually favors the Hornets in this game, which is absolutely insane. If you think about, Natalie has been reffing for 7 years now, the last 7 years of the NBA. And we can think about the Raptors in the last 7 years, and we can think about the Hornets in the last 7 years. And the fact that they have a higher winning percentage with her than we do is a scary thing. We've won a championship in the last 7 years, and we have been the top team in the league the year after that. And the Hornets, what the fuck have they done? How the hell are they 500 with Natalie? So 47-50 for the Hornets. Natalie Sago. I don't know how. Let's see. All right, the third ref is the husband, Jonathan Sterling, 8th season out of Hampton, Virginia. He is the wife of Lauren Holt. He is the husband of Lauren Holtkamp, the other ref. So it's the husband and wife team of refs. He's the husband. His favorite TV show is Chappelle's Show. He likes the movie Coming to America. He is a fan of Drake. So I don't know if Drake's going to be at the game. He will not be at the game. I'm going to tell you right now. First of all, Drake didn't come in the games this year because we're losing. And second of all, it's the Charlotte Hornets. You think he's coming to the Charlotte Hornets? No, he's not. Sorry, Jonathan. You probably will not see Drake at the game with Adonis. Favorite app, Maps. He most likely to visit Australia and dive with sharks. And his hidden talent was breakdancing. That's right. Jonathan Sterling is the guy I want to see do a head spin at the referee talent show. If you could get up there, man, and get on your head and get at least 2 revolutions, bro, I give you major points. In fact, I might make you beat Natalie Sago in her juggling fire if you can do a proper head spin. Like, can you actually revolve like 2 or 3 times, dude? That would be awesome. Like when we were little kids back in the day in the 80s, the kid that could do the head spin and actually get some rotations on it, you were a superstar. I am not going to lie. You were a superstar if you could do that. So Jonathan Sterling, if you could bust a move and bust out a head spin, that would be pretty damn cool. He's right in the middle of the other 2 refs. We've lost the last 2 games that we've had him ref. 44% winning percentage for the Raptors, the worst winning percentage of the 3 refs. But he has such a bad percentage for the Hornets. I will forgive him. 27% win percentage for the Hornets. So 44-27, Jonathan Sterling in favor of the Raptors. This ref crew, it seems kind of balanced. Sago can be mean. Mark Lindsay is pretty fair. There may be a little bit of manipulation, but why? It's the Hornets and the Raptors once again. There's no reason to manipulate this game, NBA. In some ways, Raptors Nation needs a little feel good after the calamity of Scotty breaking his hand on Friday. So, yeah, keep that in mind, NBA. Yeah, that's right. I think we can beat the Hornets on our own merits. I don't think the refs will mess with us, hopefully. We just need to win this game tonight. This is probably the most winnable game we've got in the next 10 games coming up. So we need to take care of business on our own home court against a team that's worse than us for sure, even if Scotty's out. I don't care. No excuses. Scotty's out. Well, next man up. Step up. It's time. It is time, Emmanuel. It is time, RJ. It is time, Grady. You guys need to step up and take the bigger slice of the pie of the responsibility in the absence of Scotty Barnes. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Trevor J's here. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy game day. Let's do it. That's right. Let's do these comments, Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J. I love you, my guy, and I hope you're having a great Sunday start. That's right. Trevor's saying new 10-day DJ Carton turned into a 2-way Carton. Yes and yes. Well, we've had an open roster spot kind of hanging around. Javon Freeman Liberty jumped into it and is off of a 2-way contract being converted the other day. That's made an open 2-way. Well, in some ways, DJ Carton, as I said yesterday, was the rights were to Iowa Wolves. Well, to stop that, we sign him to a 2-way. And now the rights to DJ Carton in the G League are officially the Raptors 905s. This is what a 2-way does. A two-way means, well, we value you on our main roster, but we'd like to still play you in the G League, and we don't want you to go all the way to Iowa to play for the Wolves. No, we'd like you to stay around Canada and go to Mississauga and play for the 905. DJ Carton officially a 905 member now because of the two-way signing yesterday. Very, very smart. They put their meat hooks into people they want, and they want Javon. They've indicated they want Javon on a multi-year deal signed this week, and they want DJ, and that's why he's got a two-way now. So our 3 two-ways are Jonte, Marquise, and DJ at this point, and Javon's a full-fledged Raptor at this point on the Raptors. I don't know Javon can still play in the G League. I think he can. I'm pretty sure he can still be a 905 player, but I'm not totally positive. Don't quote me on that. In some ways, his eligibility for 905 might have changed a little bit by being a full-fledged Raptor now. So we'll see. Good news and information. Also, just a side note, Jeffrey Doughton Jr. signed to a two-way this weekend, and he is now going to be playing for the Sixers and the Blue Coats. So good for you, Jeffrey. I'm always rooting for you, Doughton, other than for the Sixers to win a championship. But yeah, Jeffrey thrown a bone. Now, it's not the same as Javon. He's just a two-way. He's still not a full contract like we were hoping he would get for the Raptors last year. That's not what happened with the Sixers. He's just got a two-way finally now. He wasn't on a two-way until now this season. Jeffrey Doughton Jr. Chris is here. Good to see Chris. Carton is an interesting one here. Not sure they grant another 10-day given Javon is converted. I watched highlights of Javon, and the man can flat out score at the rim. I see it working in the NBA. All right, well, all right. You know, I've been critical of this, and you know that I don't totally believe in this, but if you see it, all right, we'll see. Once again, we'll see. I want to see how far he can go in the NBA. He's going to get chances to try and do stuff for us. Well, make the best of it, Freeman Liberty. That's what I got to say. Make the best of your chances. But if I see you play selfish shit on the main roster like you do on 905, fuck, man, you're going to fuck up Darko's schemes of 0.5 and passing a lot, Javon. You better be playing unselfish. That's the one thing I have a problem with him, Chris. Is he's a very, very much a black hole. And he may be a scorer, he may be all this, but he's not very good team like inducer. That's the problem. And part of the thing I don't like about Freeman Liberty is his basketball doesn't usually win. That's the problem. There's been a lot of games this year where he scored like 30 to 40 points, and the Raptors 905 lost by 10 or 15. That's the thing. Those kind of scores, they can be cool and great. In some ways, yeah, and breaking in case emergency, we need somebody to score a basket because we're stagnant. But a lot of times, those kind of players don't win in the NBA. That's my big cautionary tale about it. Maybe he can score, but I'll say those kind of players don't win. They can score a lot, but usually they're scoring because the game is like just not the kind of game that matters or competes. That's what I'm wondering about. We're going to have to see. We are going to have to see about Freeman Liberty. We're going to get a chance to see, I'm sure. Dana's here. Good morning, everyone. Happy game day. Let's get this win for Scotty. Cool to see your tattoo in the chat yesterday, Dana, of your dog on your shoulder. Very nice work. It seems like that tattoo took a while, too. I can tell. A lot of detail in there. Good morning to you, Dana. Let's get it. It's game day. Let's beat the Hornets. Mo's here. Good to see the super fan, Monique Lawrence, the greatest. That's right, Mo. You know, Mo told me yesterday she's going to be coming to the coach's open house, and she's going to get there early. Now, I just realized, looking at the calendar, that daylight savings is 2 days before, and it's spring forward. So this is crazy, y'all. They already want us to get down there for like 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, it's really going to feel like 7 o'clock in the morning because it will be the old time because the time's going to change 2 days before Tuesday. That's how they make sure the real ones show up. So, yeah, don't let that scare you. Let's just be really crazy, like tired and there and just have a good time because the time change is going to be screwing with us in that very early morning, too. Yikes. So it's like, yeah, it's really early. It's even earlier because it's spring forward on Sunday night. Saturday, Sunday morning. All right, let's see. Mo saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Happy game day. Early game day, early rise. That's right. You going to the game, Mo? I'm pretty sure you probably are. Let's not let the white woman beater, a.k.a. Miles Bridges, go off again. They suck anyways. Go Raptors. What a good fan Mo is. She's awesome. I'm gonna give you a dunk for saying, "Yeah, go Raptors." I like that. It's nothing from whatever you said otherwise, Mo. It's just because you're a passionate fan, and I love your fandom. And yeah, let's go Raptors. Let's beat the woman beater Miles Bridges today. That's right. I'm all about it. Let's see. Trevor saying, Suns and Rockets was very physical. Both Booker and Nurkic were injured, lost to the Rockets. I haven't seen the game in a long time like this with so much physicality and pressure on defense. The refs are really not calling anything right now. It's really weird. Like the refs in the history of the NBA have gone from different levels of sensitivity to calling calls. And right now, they are very not sensitive to calling calls. There's all kinds of extra stuff that they used to call that they're not calling right now. There's a lot of allowed contact. I think some of it is that Adam Silver and Joe Dumars are trying to make the league have a little bit more of a chance on the defensive end. So they allow more physicality and a little bit more of hitting and not calling fouls. But once again, they pick and choose, and it's not really fair. They could say, "Oh, we're just not calling fouls; we're letting them play." But why do you call one all of a sudden out of the blue, and it's like the same as all the other ones, but you're just gonna call this one? That's what pisses me off. Is consistency needs to be at both ends, and in some ways, the consistency needs to be in the amount of physicality. And there's no rhyme or reason to this. If there was some sort of crazy Wild West game out with Phoenix and Rockets yesterday, where these guys are hitting each other and people are getting hurt and the referees are swallowing their whistles, well, this is the league we play in now. That it's a little bit more physical and there's going to be a little bit more allowances to smack people around a little bit. Yeah, yikes, yikes. Well, we'll just have to be smart, stay strong, and play to win, baby. Play to win. Most saying congratulations to DJ Carton. Plenty of dunks to come. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I like DJ so far. In some ways, I can see the merits of DJ Carton over JFL already because honestly, I see DJ Carton passing the ball in the very little time he's played for the Raptors. He seems like a real true point guard. And that's kind of what we need on this. We were lacking centers a year ago. Well, we're lacking point guards to a degree, especially with Scotty hurt now. So yeah, DJ Carton getting a two-way, it makes sense because we have a depth position problem at point guard right now. Trevor saying Brooklyn took the 2 back-to-back games from Atlanta. Yeah, they've beaten up on the Hawks twice in a row now. Dennis Schroeder, very key in that. Dennis Schroeder very much being a huge teammate to his teammates. He's really, really reveling with his new Nets family. Here's the Instagram stories real quick. First, we got Marquise Noel, Mr. New York City, with the 10 rules of life. He's really, really talking on his mantras and really remembering the things that matter as far as working towards a goal, even if things are not totally good and he's hurt. He's got to remember to keep his eyes on the prize and keep the right headspace. So his 10 rules are: be present, give it time, be grateful, exude kindness, let it go, don't compare, take responsibility, embrace change, cultivate resilience, and see the light. There you go, Marquise. You're going to get there. Just be patient. I know you got to be close to getting back from that hamstring. At least I hope you are. Dubber Don, looking good in the Portland Trailblazers jersey. We're going to see him later this week. It'll be interesting to go on this West Coast road trip and be out in Portland. And Delano looks like he's gained weight. Like he's not as skinny as when he was a Raptor. And that's really good. Like he's developing. Some people are saying, why didn't we keep him? Well, the Raptors made the decision to not re-sign him. It wasn't that he wanted to leave. It wasn't that he wasn't a good player. It's just the Raptors did not decide to invest in him in money in a roster spot at a certain point, and they let him go as a free agent, and he signed with Boston. So it is too bad, but who knows? He could circle back as a more savvy vet and come back and play for his hometown team, and he'll have that nice little career arc of having his initial start in Toronto. Maybe he'll have a homecoming at some point. So don't count that out for Banton, guys. Even if he's getting better on the Blazers right now, he could end up being a Raptors jersey again. Just watch. Dennis is, like I said, he's celebrating Mikal Bridges. He's celebrating Nicholas Claxton. He's celebrating Cam Johnson. He's celebrating the Nets and his teammates and the things that he's doing together. He's trying to bond with them. He's got it all over his social media. It looks good. It is what it is. It's what he's supposed to be doing. Let's see what else is going on. I don't think there's a whole lot other than that. Thad Young's got Thad Young Jr. on blast, and it says 2029 Team Thad. So I'm wondering, is that the year they're projecting that that Thaddeus Young Jr. will be available for the NBA draft? Is 2029 NBA draft? Is that Thad Young Jr.'s year to come into the NBA? That'll be interesting. The second episode of DeMar DeRozan's Dining with DeMar is coming out this week. The second guest is gonna be Dwayne Wade. It's very interesting to hear Dwayne Wade talk about how during when his playing career, he got all of his angst and anger and stuff out on the court. And then when he retired, he had a hard time dealing with getting that energy out of him. He had to find other routes. And that is actually when he started therapy, was after he retired. So that's going to be an interesting episode. DeMar with Dwayne Wade on his second episode of Dinners with DeMar. You know, the work that DeMar is doing is so important. Like, seriously, in some ways, like, we can talk about people like Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, different people who did different things in civil rights in different areas that mattered in the world. This is the thing. There's not many NBA players like DeMar DeRozan right now that are going to actually make an impact in a huge, huge, huge way, because the stigma about talking about mental health around Black men is very, very, very difficult to maneuver. I'm going to say that right now. Like, seriously, in some ways, it's like there's all kinds of reasons for why. But the thing is, DeMar is busting that wide open. And honestly, the work he's doing right now, it could be looked at in like 50 years from now as being very, very, very crucial to changing things and ideas and mentalities. He will be known for the guy who put mental health on the forefront. And he will very much be celebrated for that in the way something similar to, like, maybe not. I mean, it's huge what Bill Russell did, honestly, and the civil rights, everything he did. Like, some of the stories I've heard about them boycotting games or not going to games because of different things that were going on with Jim Crow laws in the South. That's huge, and that's something. But I don't want y'all to poo-poo the contribution that DeMar DeRozan is going to give to the topic of mental health, and specifically talking about mental health for Black men. It's going to be a huge thing, and they're going to give him a lot of credit in the future. Watch, they're going to say the first guy who talked about his depression and brought it out there and put it in light is DeMar DeRozan. He's going to get credit for this, and in some ways, this is a reason for us to retire his jersey in Toronto, because it's not even just about his basketball. In some ways, it's about this is humanitarian what he's doing. Honestly, this is good for humanity, is what DeMar DeRozan's doing right now with his Dinners with DeMar and his just speaking out on mental health issues. Really, really good. Jeff Doughton celebrating getting the two-way yesterday, posting Sham's announcement about him getting the two-way. Good stuff, Jeffrey. Happy for you, guy. Slim Duck, very happy for DJ Carton. I guess him and DJ are friends. He's like, keep grinding, my dog. It's great to see. Keep you on. Yeah, so there you go. Chris Boucher, a fan of DJ Carton, getting his two-way yesterday. So there's your Instagram stories real quick going on the social media. We also saw a picture on social media yesterday of Bruce Brown and Grady Dick in a Maple Leafs jersey. They were at the Leafs game last night. They defeated New York. The Leafs did. And yeah, good to see our guys getting out there and seeing the game. Some people are saying in the picture, there's nothing more Canadian than this picture. Look at Bruce Brown in his outdoor gear and Grady in his Maple Leaf jersey. Yeah, it's pretty goofy, but very cool. I always get a little annoyed when I see Austin Matthews or some of the Leafs at the Raptors game. You know, I got to really think about this. This is a chicken before the egg thing. Leafs at the Raptors games and us losing. Like, what is the interaction here? Well, think about it, Lex. The Leaf players, if they're going to come to the Raptors game and sit at courtside, it's usually a marquee matchup. It's usually against somebody big, like the Warriors. Austin Matthews wants to come and see Steph Curry play. But it's true. Whenever they show the Leafs at our front row, Matthews or whoever, Marner, I don't care who it is, we lose. Like, so I get it. They're going to come to the game. They're going to have to. They're MLSE. It's part for cross promotion, just like our guys were at their game last night. They're going to show that. Well, they're going to show the Leafs at our game. But our record when the Leafs are at our game is very bad. It's very, very bad. Very, very bad. When the Maple Leafs sit at courtside, we lose. So MLSE, just so you know, that's true. As soon as I saw Austin Matthews on the broadcast on Friday night, I was like, oh, fuck, we're going to lose. It's just how it is. I'm sorry. I've noticed this pattern. I hate it. I hate it so much. In some ways, Leafs, just don't come to games, please. Just, you guys are in the arena all the time. You got your own games. You don't need to be there. I mean, I get it. They want to try and get people interested in the Leafs. So they have Austin Matthews there, a couple of Leafs at the front. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's see. Monique is saying, thinking of you, Scotty, heavily healing vibes. Yeah, I like what the doctor said in that clip that Jill shared with us, saying that it really is like a month. So that's better than 6 weeks. That's better than 8 weeks. So if he can just miss March and come back for April and we still get in the play-in somehow, some way, that'd be awesome. I don't know if that's likely, though. But yeah, heavy healing vibes for Scotty right now. Let's all take a mental meditation real quick and just go, and visualize Scotty's third metacarpal in his left hand and feel the vibes of healing. We got to know which part of it was broken, the top or the bottom in the middle. It matters. It can matter where the fracture is in the hand. It's probably more likely at the top. It's probably more likely up here because it probably doesn't break down here very easily. So yeah, healing, heavy healing vibes. Send them to Scotty's third metacarpal on his left hand right now. Sending it to you, Scotty. You know, you do a little chant. Let's see. Most saying, good to see the Hawks losing, but keep losing. Signed, all Raptors fans. That's right. She wants to see the Hawks lose. She wants to see the Nets lose. She wants to see the Bulls lose. She wants to see all those teams right above us lose. And I'm with her. Can we still get to 30 wins by the end of March? It's going to be a tough one. I was looking at the games. There's some winnable ones. There's some slouches we're going to play in March. But I have to gauge how we are without Scotty first to really, really see if we have a chance to get to 30 wins by the end of March. It's going to be tough without Barnes. It's going to be very tough. We're going to have to see. Some of these games are not easy. That West Coast trip, those are tough teams. I don't know how bad Portland is right now. Will Portland be easy to beat? I don't think so. Denver's not. I know that. Playing Phoenix with that team, it's not going to be easy either. No, they got Thad Young. He can tell them all about us at this point. Thad Young's over on the Suns team now. Yeah, so this is going to be a tough month. Hopefully we can get to 30. That's what I want. Trevor's saying everything in life comes and passes away one day, but one thing will never pass away is genuine, real love. That is beautiful. Trevor, that is beautiful. That may be the most beautiful words of wisdom you've ever spoken on this chat. That is beautiful. That's right. The one thing that will never, ever go away is genuine, real love. The love is there even when the people are gone. That love is still felt from them and wherever they are and to the person who's still here. It's still there. Damn, Trevor. Wow. I'm giving you a 3-pointer. That's 3-point words of wisdom right there, Trevor J. 3-point words of wisdom right there. Wow. Bringing it full circle. Chris is saying, oh, wow, as normal, I am a couple steps behind here. Carton got Javon's two-way. Yeah, DJ got the two-way, so he is officially a Raptors 905. Yeah, Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Sunday. Good morning to you, Fiercely Salsera, Scotty Barnes, Twitch family 2022 and beyond. Charlotte should be more competitive with their recent acquisitions, but we will rise above adversity tonight and the remainder of the season. I don't know if they're better. I mean, I looked at what they've done recently. They've lost 4 out of their last 5 games. So they've won 1 game in their last 5 games. We need to beat them. Yeah. I don't care if they've got Leaky Black. I don't care if they've got Bryce McGowans. I don't care if they got Nick Richards. Yeah. Nick Richards sounds like somebody who's in the Fantastic Four, doesn't he? Like, is he one of the Fantastic Four, Nick Richards? We've got Reed Richards, and we've got Johnny Storm, and we've got Nick Richards. Is he in the Fantastic Four? Seriously, I'm trying to figure that out. Nick Richards. Yeah, he sounds like he should be. Let's keep going. Fiercey's got Scotty on blast, and then Yak, Gary, RJ, Emmanuel, Kelly, and Darko. Yes. Cowboys said, good morning, Lex and the Raptor Freaks. Good Sunday morning, Toronto. Let's go, DJ. Turn it up. Turn it up, DJ. Last night a DJ saved my life. Let's see what JFL brings tonight. Let's go, Raptors. Yes, Freeman Liberty. Liberty, my bad opinion of you, and make it better. I don't know. That man wins some Raptors games for us. I'll be like, yeah, you're my friend. I love you. That's what you have to do, Freeman Liberty, to win me over. Play winning basketball, score a lot, and win. Masai Ujiri, win. That's all I care about. Win. If you can make us win, if you can help us win, Javon, hey, I'll be your friend. But if you have the opposite effect, if you're not adding up to that, well, then I'm sorry. I'm going to continue to be on the same opinion about Javon Freeman Liberty. I'm not with him like you guys. Some people are. Some people just love Javon. And to me, it's frustrating player for me. I've watched a lot of 905 games this year. Trust me, I know a lot about Javon Freeman Liberty. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's like, look, he can score. But there's so much other stuff that's annoying about him. I'm going to say that. I'm just going to say that. He can score. Yeah. Monique is saying, if we do things the right way, this should be a cakewalk for us. Go Raptors. Don't say that. Oh, my gosh. This is the NBA. It's all hard. And now that we don't have Scotty, it's really hard. I can't say this for sure, Monique. Without Scotty Barnes in our lineup, our all-star, our franchise face, our best player, we may be about equal with the Hornets right now. I don't know. We can look at the talent on both teams and kind of like suss it out and think about it. Miles and RJ, maybe a little like, I don't know, Brandon Miller, if he's playing, we can't just say this is going to be a cakewalk. In some ways, we cannot take this game or any game lightly for the rest of the season. I know we're going to play Washington later this month, but I'm still not going to say that's a cakewalk. Every single game needs to be taken seriously at this point with our injury to Scott. And yeah, we got to come out correct and beat their ass is what I'm saying. We should not lose. You're right. But I wouldn't describe this as a cakewalk. No. Fiercely saying Michael Malone is next level passive aggressive, and I love it. When asked about LeBron reaching 40,000, congratulations to LeBron, but I'm just happy we won the game. Yeah, that's what I was thinking yesterday too. They're making such a to-do about LeBron getting to 40,000 points, overshadowing the game. Well, who won the game? The Nuggets won the game. Yeah, the Nuggets beat LeBron in that game. And I love Michael Malone saying that. Listen, the Nuggets-Lakers rivalry is real. The Lakers hated getting put out by the Nuggets last year. And the Nuggets going on to win the championship. That's awesome. I love that. In some ways, Michael Malone trolling them and talking trash to them was awesome. I fully encourage it. The son of our first ever Raptors head coach is awesome. Michael Malone is family. In some ways, he's a legacy coach as much as Gary Trent Jr. is a legacy player from Gary Trent Sr. Well, Michael Malone is a legacy coach from the Raptors family because his father was the very first Raptors coach. So yeah, I'm on Denver and Michael Malone's side every single time on this. That's right. Who won the game, LeBron? Okay, 40,000. All right. How many of those points did the refs give you? That's what I'm saying. Fiercey said he's had a hell of a career, but more importantly, we were able to win the 6th game in a row following the All-Star break. Yeah, see, he's giving him a compliment, but yeah. He's worried about his team and his stuff. It's like, yeah, listen, just because the media kisses LeBron's ass overly doesn't mean the whole rest of the league that competes with him needs to kiss his ass like that. I mean, seriously, come on now. Chris is saying at Cowboy, I think Javon brings some exciting style to the team. Yes, he is a street baller, but I also think he will play proper basketball. It's his ability to score that is so exciting for me. That's why everybody loves him. In some ways, Javon Freeman Liberty is the epitome of today's game. In some ways, he is like the human embodiment of what's wrong with the game. That's what I'll say about this. In some ways, he is the human embodiment of what's wrong with the NBA game today. Yeah. I mean, listen, I got to be won over on the court. In some ways, Abaji It did not win me over at first. Then he won me over for a couple games, and now he's kind of back to These guys got to win me over with consistency and contributing to winning. I don't give a shit if he scores 25 if we lose by 30. That's part of it right there. So it's got to be winning scoring. There's a lot of empty like scoring that Javon does in the G League when it doesn't really even matter, or it's like nobody else is stepping up to do it. So it's not, I am being a hater in some ways. I get it. But I want him to prove some stuff to us. I want him to come in and be a badass. I'm not just going to say he's going to come in and be this and this and this. We have to see. We have to see. So Freeman Liberty, make me look stupid is what I'm saying. Make me look stupid. I love doing this to players when they're new and they're coming in, and I want to see them do good things. It's like, in some ways, this is my tough love. It's like, yeah, I think you could be good, but I don't know. Do you translate to the NBA? I can see you do this at 905 where everybody's short, but can you do this where everybody's taller? Seriously, I don't totally believe he can. In some ways, this is the way I treated Fred when he came in, just so y'all know. I was like, yeah, I don't think Fred's going to make it. He's too short, and I was wrong. I was very wrong. So, Javon, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Right now, I feel like I might be right, though. We'll have to see. Chris loves you, though. Chris thinks that your scoring is exciting. Me, I'm like, okay, a lot of people can score. That's not the thing. I want a more fleshed out game. And in some ways, he is very much a scorer. Fiercey is saying this. No. Oh, wow. We see some names I haven't seen in a bit. This is awesome. All right, Fiercey is saying kudos to LeBron, the first one to do it, maybe the only one to do it. We'll see what happens in 15, 20, 30 years, but hell of a win for the Nuggets to get the season sweep. That's the other thing about it, is the Nuggets swept the hell out of the Lakers this season. You know, if the Lakers wanted to get any payback for being eliminated last year in the Western Conference Finals, well, they didn't get it. No, they didn't. The Nuggets took care of business and beat their ass. I love it. I love it. Yeah, Fiercey saying he put the focus back on his team. I love it. That's right. That's right. Well, in some ways, he's doing this because he's pissed. Because when they did their run and their championship run last year, the media focused so heavily on LeBron in their series in that Western Conference that it was annoying him. He's like, well, you keep talking about LeBron, but he's losing. Why don't you talk about our team? Why don't you talk about Jamal Murray? Why don't you talk about Nikola Jokic? Why don't you talk about Aaron Gordon? You know, that's kind of his attitude about this. It's like they overexpose LeBron with coverage, and he wants his little share of the pie for his team. So that's his way of dealing with it, is to do stuff like what he did there. Yeah, and he's right. He's right. They do overcover LeBron unfairly to the degree where he's not on a winning team. His team sucks, and it's all we hear about on SportsCenter. It's stupid. It's stupid. Stop overcovering LeBron. Part of the reason why him retiring will be good is because of the overcoverage of LeBron. Seriously, he's just shoved down our throats all the time. You can think about it the way Tom Brady was in the NFL too. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They just want to put these guys in our faces over and over again. Let's see. Cowboys saying, I'm still crazy excited to watch tonight's game and every game after, with or without Scotty. Yeah, okay, Bono, with or without Scotty. With or without Scotty, we can play with or without Scotty. Oh. With or without Scotty. You know, I'm with you on this. So some casuals, some Scotty fans may be like, I'm not watching the rest of the year because my guy's got a broken hand. But the real ones are interested to see how this team reacts and does things in his absence. You know, we didn't really scramble quick enough in the second half of the game on Friday night to really have a game plan. I don't think that they came into the game thinking they were not going to have Scotty for the second half. So in some ways, there wasn't any kind of like way of dealing with that in a really well thought out way, because it was just so sudden in the middle of the game. Well, they've had time to prepare. They've had time to orient the way they want to make their game plan for today against the Hornets with Scott in absence. So let's see how they do it. In some ways, this is a great time to check with Darko and what he does as a coach when he's in adversity. I'm very curious to see the creativity of the Raptors coaching staff and how they're going to handle Scott's absence and what they're going to do to keep that offense going without stagnation. I'm very, very curious about it. Very, very curious. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Seymour saying, I honestly can't stand Sportsnet anymore. 22 minutes of hockey highlights in a 60-minute program. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's why I don't watch anything other than the Raptors games. It infuriated me before, just the imbalance and just how put on the shelf or pushed to the side Raptors basketball is in Canadian sports programming. You know, they've bumped us for curling in the past. Like, I get it. Curling's an important sport in Canada, and some of those Briars and all that kind of stuff people really care about, and they would say, "Oh, the ratings are better for that anyway than Raptors games, Lex. So why would you get upset if they bumped basketball for curling?" Well, because basketball is one of the major sports and curling is not. And also, the Raptors are the most profitable, like most worth a franchise in Canada. Like, they are that says something right there, that there's some sort of following. You may be saying that the ratings are better for curling, but I don't believe you. I do not believe you completely. I don't know. It pisses me off the way that they treated the NBA, the Raptors, as second class citizens on sports programming in Canada for pretty much since the Raptors have existed. It was way, way worse in the 90s and the 2000s than it is now, trust me. But it's still not good. I mean, it is what it is. It was shown in the Scotiabank Arena celebration of 25 years. There was like 1 or 2 clips of basketball, and then were like 5 or 6 clips of hockey. There was like a whole hockey montage in the middle of it. It's almost like MLSE has a problem with, like, maybe seeming like the Raptors are equal with the Leafs. Like, they don't want that to happen. In some ways, it's like institutionalized racism. In some ways, it's all right, let's keep them down below us. In some ways, it's insecurity. Like I've said, them naming the square Maple Leaf Square shows insecurity. The fact that the whole organization is called Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment is insecurity in some ways. The Maple Leafs worry about losing top dog in the city to the Raptors. So one of the ways they can manipulate this is the sports coverage and how much more it favors hockey over basketball. So that's a lot of what it is right there, Seymour. Yeah, I don't watch Sportsnet or TSN unless there's basketball on. I don't see any hockey at all. If I see hockey, I'm like, okay, what am I doing? I don't want to watch hockey. I don't want to see these commercials. I see them put the advertisements in the Raptor games saying, "Oh, hockey's on the other channel. Let's tune in now." I'm like, why are you doing that? Because they want people to jump from NBA to the NHL. Yeah. I mean, this is something we knew. We knew that the NHL hates the Raptors and the NBA, and they really they've got the Canadian sportscasters on their side. Let's just put it that way. They've got them on their side for sure on this one. Let's see. Cowboy Sin. Chris, let's fucking go. Mug Brothers. Yes, Mug Brothers. Chin chin. Chin chin. That's right. Seymour saying, is wife beater playing him who shall not be named or let into our great country? Yeah, he can come in. He came last time, remember? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can come here, or maybe he can't. That's interesting. His case got thrown out. That's part of it. All right, this is a confusion about Miles Bridges because people think he's innocent now because his recent charges were thrown out. The part about the car and him throwing the brick through the window with his kids in the car, that whole incident got thrown out because there were differing stories and evidence that was found, and they couldn't punish him for it. But the initial assaults and the pictures of his wife, the way she looked all beat up, that assault is still on record, and he is still a felon for that. So I don't know. I don't know if Miles Bridges is allowed to come into Canada today still. The court case that was outstanding that may have kept him from coming last time has been figured out. So it could very well be that Miles is allowed in the country this time, but he wasn't for a game earlier this season. And my government's good for that. Seriously. So I don't know. It's confusing because everybody thinks he's innocent because the recent court stuff came out and said he's exonerated or he's not. They couldn't get a straight story is basically what it was. So they just decided to drop the charges. But all the stuff that he's in trouble for that he missed the season last year for is still there. That was a new charge that they dropped. So he's still in trouble. He's still got like probation and stuff like that. So I don't know if they're going to let him in today. We got to find out. Of course, he played against us when we played them in Charlotte the last time, but he didn't come across the board last time the Hornets came to Canada. So we'll have to see. This is something we may have to monitor. He may very well be able to play just because the court case has passed at this point, the one that was outstanding. Trevor's saying Raptors don't have to worry about Bridges because he can't cross the border into Canada. See, I don't know if that's true. If he's a felon, he can't. Yeah, you're right. So we'll just have to see. I don't know for sure if Miles Bridges will be playing today. We'll have to monitor this, and the Facebook chat will let you guys know the breaking news as it goes on throughout the afternoon. Chris is saying, I have to return to MSJ, don't I? Laugh out loud. Well, in some ways, I don't know. I mean, everybody knows you as that. In some ways, I would just discourage you from changing your handle too often or too much. You can ask people like Nameless. Nameless has changed his handle very often, and it's just confusing to me. In some ways, your name gets known on here, and people knew you before as MSJ. Now you're BCG. I don't know. It's up to you. Just be consistent. You want to keep this one, just keep this one going forward. But a lot of people already know you from your other handle. That's for sure. Most saying, I'm back in the arena, Lex. And yes, I'm leaving early. There you go. Yeah, you got to get down there. 6 p.m. start, Mo. Get down there and hobnob and see all the big wigs. And you're a big wig yourself. And yeah, just do your social butterfly stuff that you do down there, bringing such joy and light to everybody, conversating with your Usher friends and everybody around the Raptors organization. Yeah, you go down there, Monique, and get us a win, super fan. Yeah, you will. You bring those vibes. We missed them on Friday, obviously. We missed them on Friday, Mo, when you were not at the arena. Yeah, Seymour's saying, no. All right, I see these are your official markers at the airport. I've seen these signs, Seymour. The guy who's like, no, don't come in here. Yeah, and the little bag and the x-ray. Yeah, and these are like no entry, no domestic violence allowed, plus he is trash. Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know what the status of Miles Bridges will be to enter the country of Canada today. I don't know. They haven't talked about it. In some ways, the NBA keeps this black eye on the down low. If he's not allowed in, the last time they didn't really make a big deal out of it. They were really trying to save his status and his reputation as possibly still being a superstar salvageable in this league. But it doesn't look good when a country won't let you enter because of your criminality. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things get handled today and even how the press handles it. If it's even put on blast or anybody says anything about it, they'll probably just let it pass in the night kind of thing. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Wayne's here. Good to see Wayne Strainer. Good to see Doughton getting a two-way with the Sixers. He deserves the opportunity. I agree, too. I'm surprised it took so long for them to do it this season. It could very well be they needed some flux with the Sixers with trades and things that happened, that things opened up for him. There was no opening in the beginning of the season. But yeah, Jeffrey's a two-way for Nick Nurse and the Sixers at this point. Yeah, he never got to play with Kyle Lowry. Well, now he gets to. That'll be interesting. Yeah. Chris is saying only a month. Maybe it's just not so bad. And I knew IQ kicked him. You don't break a hand through the palm of your hand on a rim. Never wrong. Laugh out loud. Yeah, listen, I wasn't just fooled. I'm not the only one. There were a lot of us that were fooled on it. There's a lot of like three-card money, left and right switching. There's all kinds of stuff. It was also not totally clear which play he hurt his hand on. Seriously. There were a couple of plays where it could have happened. So sussing this out later and stuff was tough for a lot of people. Like I said, the doctor that made this clip that I watched before the stream, he was fooled too. And he thought that he had broken his hand on the rim. And we're talking about a doctor, Chris. And you're saying, oh, you never break your hand on the rim. Well, the doctor said, yeah, you do. So in some ways, you're never wrong. Well, the doctor thought that he broke his hand on the rim, and then he had to go back and see it later. So he made the same mistake as me. So, I mean, if the doctor's thinking, well, he probably is most likely broke his hand on the rim, well, he was wrong. And so was I. And it was on the calf, and I could see it in the replay that he showed on his video, how it bent back. That just seems so unlikely to me, because think about it this way, Chris. In wrestling, in like any kind of physical sports, if you push into somebody's leg, you can kind of push them up. Think about OG and Dennis. Like Dennis got flipped by OG by bringing his arm up. Like in some ways, if Scotty had hit Emmanuel's leg in the right way, he might have just pushed his leg up higher. It's that the force of Emmanuel's leg, I guess, was going in a certain direction against his direction. and it caught the end of his finger at a weird angle, and it bent it back, and it snapped his hand inside. That's not normal. That I've never seen somebody break their hand like that. You're trying to say that that's the way you do it all the time? No, because in some ways you got to remember too. I'm a big wrestling fan, and I see a lot of guys get hurt in the ring and how they can hurt themselves. Usually, you do not break your hand on somebody else's leg like that. That is very much a fluke, weird ass injury. I'm gonna say that right now. Now, the part of it is like, okay, the part of Emmanuel's leg that he hit was his shin. So he's hitting his shin bone. And it looked weird in the angle because his calf is nice and soft. In some ways, if you hit that calf with the finger, maybe it doesn't bend all the way back. So I think he literally hit the edge, the side of Emmanuel's shin bone, and the hardness of his shin bone pushed his finger back. And because Scott had the energy coming through his arm, he pushed it himself through his finger. Now the doctor said, and he's exactly right, Scott had no play to block that shot, and him jumping up and doing what happened where he broke his hand was really not totally necessary, which sucks. It's a fluke ass play on a play he had no chance to make a play on, and he just broke his hand on it. It's so crazy. So crazy. Now, see, the doctor got it wrong. I got it wrong. I can see how people are getting it wrong. Trust me. I can see how people are getting it wrong. Nako saying, I want Grady to start. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. This could happen. I mean, let's think about the matchup. How big are the Hornets up front? Well, they got Nick Richards. It depends on who's coming in. Like, is Devos Bertans going to be coming in? It depends on the front line of the Hornets. If they're not that big, I think we can get away with a Pirtle, RJ, Grady front court. Yeah, I think we could do that. Maybe today isn't okay to do it. But going against Denver and Phoenix later this week, we may need to have Kelly in there for the size of Nurkic and different things around that. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if Grady is the guy who's going to get the start. We'll have to see. Chris is saying start Kelly and use Wara as the backup or the return of Jonte. That's not a bad idea either. Like, I'm wondering about Jonte Porter because he could be very useful with Scotty out and for the depth up front. In some ways, it does make a natural inclination. Bring Jonte up. We're missing another big body. Bring him up. And he's actually been playing very solid for 905 in the last week or so. So I think that's a good idea, is get Porter and actually use him in the rotation in the place of Scotty, because that makes sure we have the replacement of size. I'm totally with that. I would rather use Jonte in that way than Wara. Yeah. And because I feel like he has the better size for sure. And he's a better defender in some ways too. Let's see. Wayne saying front office is much smarter than the short-term thinking. Accolades will be there for Scotty Wayne Barnes later in his career. Shut him down. If playing the last games have no statistical relevance, eyes are on Gary. Let's see. The only reason why I say this, Wayne, is because Scotty has played 60 games this season. And we know the new rule is 65 is the minimum to be able to get any postseason awards. If he has an outside chance to get the most improved player, well, in some ways he needs to come back and play 5 more games at the end of the season. That's the only reason why I would say that. And that's the award he probably has the best chance to win, is most improved. So I don't know if it's very likely now that he's hurt, he won't get a good body of work to the end for recency bias and judging who should get these awards at the end of the season. We'll have to see. I think that in some ways it's Tyrese Maxey's to lose, and that he may not have a realistic chance to get most improved. So maybe your logic is smart. Just shut him down for the rest of the season and don't even bring him back. I don't know. In some ways, it's not totally up to the organization. I think it is up to the organization, but in some ways, Scotty may really tell them and like request, I want to come back and play. This is the thing. Scotty's not like other NBA players. They may be like, yeah, I have an excuse. I can sit out. I can get paid. I don't have to do anything. I have a broken hand. That's not how he is. He loves playing NBA, and he wants to play as many games as he can. So he's going to try and heal as quickly as possible and get back in the lineup. I'll watch. Just knowing his psychology, he's probably not okay with being shut down for the rest of the season. Even if the front office asks him to do it, he'd probably be like fighting against it. But he may be able to be told how it's like for your best. It's for your best interest. Trust in Masai. Okay. I really do want to play though, guys. I love playing. I hate not playing. I want to play. I know that's how he's feeling right now. I know it. Cowboy said, I hope Grady starts also. So we got a couple of people looking for Dick to be inserted. I'm sorry. I had to do that. I don't often do the Grady jokes, but that one was too easy. Yeah. Nago saying Kelly would be safer, but throw Grady to the fire. Well, this is the matchup to do it. If you're going to throw anybody to the fire, do it against the Hornets today and not later this week when we're on the West Coast trip. No, not against the Pelicans on Tuesday either. No. If you're going to put Kelly in the starting lineup, do it today. Try it out. Why not? Tom Duke is all about it. He's got the fire truck, and he said Dick will keep the vibes good. There you go. There you go, Tom. I like that. Oh, Diane's here. Good to see Diane Hart, a longtime Raptor freak. And sometime a commenter comes in and says hi to us. Let's see what she's saying. Good morning, Alexia and crew. I hope you are all well. I'm sorry to hear about Scotty's hand. I hope that the team will continue to gel and play well together until he returns. Go Raps. That's a great comment, and I wish those things too, Diane. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a great Sunday morning. And yeah, let's see the Raptors beat the Hornets today, despite Scotty's injury. It's too bad. You know, these kind of things are going to happen in the NBA. And once again, I'll say, like I said yesterday, the timing of this in some ways is bad, but also if he's going to break his hand at any point in his career, this may be the easiest time for him to deal with it where it doesn't matter or it doesn't hurt the team as much. That's the other thing. You just don't want this kind of stuff to happen when you're making a very important postseason run to try and make the postseason, or you're in the playoffs and this kind of thing happens. So it's never good to miss games, but if this is going to happen at this time and it has to happen, or something like this is going to happen, well, at least it happened at a time where it kind of fits with things, I guess. Does that make sense? Diane, always good to see you. Thank you for being here. Wayne saying we need the most aggressive players starting tonight. Youth, aggression, and team cohesion are the criteria going forward. Ochai, Kelly, Grady, Bruce need time to gel. Don't know who is running point. Yeah, Emmanuel. Emmanuel's supposed to be running point or the hub through Jakob. They really going to have to try and figure out how to stir the drink better with Scotty out. The second half, we did not move the ball well at all. Our offense looked horrible. So we're going to have to get some answers on that. And I'm sure Darko's got all kinds of creative solutions. And we're just going to have to see what works and go for it. Cowboys saying Tom Duke's in the house. Tom Dookie in the house. Yes. Chris is saying, I do see the other side of Javon as well. I want him to do well, but he's a flip of the coin. He has to play within the team, and I think he will. He has obviously been told just that by the front office. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, look, he's going to have to play the way he's supposed to play to help us, and that's all I care about. I listen, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical because I know he's undersized for his position. He's not really a true point guard. And in some ways, I've always not liked this archetype of player. In some ways, as much as Allen Iverson was so incredible and great, I never really was a big fan of him because I never thought he was a winning basketball player. And in some ways, his career showed that by the end. That, listen, you can be an amazing scorer and so good, but you're the point guard. You're supposed to distribute. You hurt the rest of your team. And if Javon Freeman Liberty is supposed to be a point guard, he hurts his team. That's all I'm saying. I don't see him get tons and tons of assists all the time. In some ways, I don't know. In some ways, I'm very old school with the idea of what a point guard is supposed to do. And these scoring point guards, I've never liked any of them in the history. Allen Iverson, Steph Marbury, the same kind of thing. I'm not into that kind of point guard. It really is Manuel is kind of like that, but in some ways, I'm not putting him in the same category because he is a little bit more of playmaking in the way that I like. So I don't know. This may be just like different shades of gray I'm talking about here. Cool Cat saying, Wayne saying cookies to Raptor freaks for getting Scotty's injury correct above the official release. It's possible because we actually watched the games. Yeah, I mean, y'all did really good yesterday. I was not right. I was arguing against what y'all were saying, but I've gotten proof and seeing what I saw today that I can honestly say that Scotty did break his hand on Emmanuel's leg and not on the rim. So, yeah, in some ways, it's like I just need to see more footage and the right angle. And then the right angle was seen in the doctor's video this morning. and I could see it actually bending back. Evelyn saying, hello, good Sunday, foggy morning, Raptor Freak family. Good morning to you, Granny Swag. Always happy to see you, Evelyn. Hope everything's been going great this weekend. Nako saying, DJ is more complete. JFL, I think, is more eye-popping. Yeah, I could get behind this description. I think that, yeah. I mean, I haven't even really seen that much of DJ Carton, and I'm really impressed with him. Really, really impressed. He has a really, really good like confidence, and he's executing. That's the thing. He's going in there and he's making things happen. That's the sign of a good player. Let's see, Granny Swag in the house. There you go. Yeah. Most saying, I totally forgot Miles Bridges is not allowed in Canada, or is he? I'm lost. My in reference to my last comment. I don't know, Mo. That's unclear. We'll have to see. It could be that his legal case that was pending is done, and he is eligible to come back at this point. It's because he had an open case, I think, earlier this season. It's not totally clear. It's either because he had an open case or he's a felon. Now, if he's a felon, he can't come in ever again for the rest of his career. I don't know how the Hornets handle that. I really don't. I mean, Canada has laws about people that break certain rules in the U.S. are not allowed to come into our country. And in some ways, Miles Bridges is in that category. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, Lex, Delano has hometown issues and he asked to relocate. Did he? I never heard that. I've heard people speculate that or say that, but I've never actually heard any official word about this, or if this is from the down low or something like that. That's not how it looked like for me. Now, I thought the problem was the Raptors were upset with him for being immature and maybe not like taking things seriously enough. And they were like, okay, you can go. Maybe it was partly because of being here in his hometown that he was not being totally mature with his professional career. And maybe part of the tough love was saying, yeah, we're not going to re-sign you, and you're a free agent and you can go somewhere else. And then maybe that gets him away from the hometown issues. I know that hometown issues may be part of the whole thing. And in fact, it's crazy because I warned him on this at the beginning of this channel. I said, Delano, you're going to be the first Toronto guy playing for Toronto. You cannot let the hometown issues get to you. Now, if they did eventually become a problem with him on this team, well, I have not officially heard that he asked to relocate from our team, that he wanted to leave our team. I've never, ever heard Delano said, I don't want to be on the Raptors anymore. I know that the way it happened was there were decisions made by the front office not to reinvest in him. The choice was by the front office. Everybody's trying to make it sound like it was Delano's choice, but it wasn't. That they had to make roster decisions that summer, and they didn't decide to reinvest in him. So he was a free agent, and he signed with Boston. So I don't know. I've never heard that he was asked to relocate. I just know that the Raptors didn't reinvest in him. That's really what happened. Nako saying therapy should be covered under healthcare. I don't disagree with this. I mean, ideally, we would be taking care of everybody for all kinds of different things better than what we are doing. In some ways, we really got to have a day of reckoning with what our morals and what is important in society is, because we're moving in the wrong direction. And a lot of it is just about profits and money and really sick, disgusting things. So, yeah, I agree. If we were in a just world, maybe we'd be more like Scandinavia and mental health would be a part of free healthcare. Yeah, I'm totally with this. I mean, there's other countries doing this already, and they're having great outcomes. And their people are very happy and very productive, and just they have a better society instead of the one we're living in right now here in North America is really messed up. And it's just people are too greedy. People are way too greedy. The grocers are so greedy right now. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Fiercely saying, what do you mean by hometown issues, Cool Cat? And Cool Cat saying, Raptor legend DeMar, legacy of the court, mental health. Yeah. I think she means like that, he has a lot of friends from Rexdale. He has a lot of people demanding his time. He has family. It could be part of it. It's his family. It's not even just his friends. He could have family that's like, oh, Delano, come and see us. And it's a distraction. There's a lot of people asking him for his time and energy and resources. It's a distraction. And it takes away from him being able to work without any distractions. That's part of it. In some ways, it's good for a guy like Scotty or Grady to come to Canada where there's no kinds of those distractions. Delano, he had those distractions when he was in Toronto the whole time. And he may have had good intentions for not letting them be a problem, but they probably were a problem at times in the time while he was a Raptor. Just so you know. Let's see. Chris is saying DeMar is a very good person. I got his jersey. He saved us after Imago left. He's my second favorite player, but his number can't be retired, in my opinion. As you know, being a nice person is not enough, in my opinion. I'm going to tell you right now, his number is going to be retired. It's all the signs are there. I think that the biggest thing that'll tell you whether a player is going to get retired is, has anybody worn it after him? How long has it been since DeMar played for the Raptors, Chris? It's been over 5 years. Nobody's worn 10 since. That is your telltale sign right there. I don't have to tell you if they're going to do it or not. I know they're going to, because they would have let somebody else wear 10 since. Nobody has worn 10. He's going to get it retired. Watch. Seriously. And he may be the first guy who gets it retired. I think that they should do that. Honestly, I think they should retire DeMar's jersey first. Out of everybody's jersey, between all those guys, DeMar's jersey should go first. Seriously. You know, he can say he saved us after Imago left. It's not like Imago was saving us. He just showed up and built a culture, is what he did. Him and Kyle built a culture together with Dwayne Casey, and they built the Raptors culture that exists today. We don't have Raptors culture without DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, and Dwayne Casey. And the other guys around there along the way, Jonas Valanciunas, Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes. They're all a part of the same culture, because Kyle and DeMar built something that lasted after they left. And, you know, we can't say that about Bosch. We can't say that about Vince, for damn sure about Vince. He had the opposite. So that's the difference. That's why you retired DeMar DeRozan's jersey, because he's like the guy that plants the trees in the forest, and he's old. He's going to die before they come to fruition. He did it for the rest of the world. That's what DeMar did. He built our culture, and then he left. And our culture still exists. Stuff that he built in Toronto still exists. And that's important. That's important. The way he put us on the map, the way he made us have something that matters, the way he earned the respect for the Raptors franchise. That is the legacy of DeMar right there. That is it right there. Yeah. His number can be retired, and it will. Have you seen a number 10 on the Raptors since he left? That tells you right there. Now, that's what I say. You've seen 15s since Vince left, Amir Johnson and many others. You've seen 20s since Damon and Alvin. No, the numbers that are protected are the ones that aren't allowed to be gotten, and there's 4 of them. There's 4 of them right now. Somebody can't show up on the Raptors tomorrow and say, I want 43. No, you ain't getting 43. You want Pascal's number? There's no way you're wearing Pascal's number in Toronto. You want number 7? You don't know whose number was 7 in Toronto? You can't have 7. Nobody has 7 since Kyle left. You want number 10. No, that's unavailable. I'm sorry. Oh, your second choice is 23? You can't have that either. I'm sorry. Those 4 numbers are retired already unofficially, and they will be officially retired and up in the rafters at the proper times. It's just you ain't going to see nobody else ever wear 10 for the Raptors. Watch. Stargate was saying, was Bruce in his cowboy hat? No, he was wearing like some workman clothes. You look very Canadian. Let's just put it that way. Bruce looked like an extra on Trailer Park Boys yesterday. Let's just put it that way. He looked like he could fit in with Ricky and Julian and Bubbles. He could have been a guest star on that show. Who knows? Maybe he shows up with Jonathan Torrens, and he's like his little buddy one day. He's like, it's like Bruce Brown. He's like, oh, this is my friend Bruce, or something like that. Yeah, he works at the lumber yard. Seriously, Bruce Brown would be a great one-time appearance on Trailer Park Boys. Seriously, he'd be very good on that show. It'd be hilarious. Let's see. Country Kong saying, I believe signing DJ and JFL will put more fire under Trent Jr. and Abaji. Let's go. Well, I hope so. I mean, I don't know what can get Gary going. Like, seriously, bro, this is your life. This is your career. This is your money. This is your future. Seriously. I mean, do you need these other guys, these young guys to come up and make you feel like you got to light a fire in your ass? No, you should just want to do it naturally because of your situation. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Cowboys saying 10 seconds of silence for Scotty. Yeah, we'll meditate. We're sending healing vibes to you, Scott, in your third metacarpal of your left hand. That's right. That's right. What is that, Tom? I can't even see that. What is that? That's a guy. Oh, he's doing like a pose, a Tai Chi pose. I was like, what is that? That's Squidward. He's got like Squidward doing Tai Chi in the park. I don't understand that. Chris is saying, I don't think Gary is back. His rim finish isn't there, and his shooting is too streaky. Passing, basically non-existent. Grady is the team's future. I agree with that. Javon and Carton incoming backcourt bench players. I have a theory about Gary that I thought about in the last couple days, and I hate to say it, but who's his representation? Yeah. I'm wondering if Rich Paul is just hates the Raptors. If he's trying to fuck with us. Everybody who's clutch that's been around the Raptors in the last 2 years has fucked us over. And in some ways, it wasn't even Coloco's fault. But he was clutch. Fred clutch, Nick clutch, Gary clutch. Now, as much as Nick didn't try last year to get his exit last year, I don't know if this doesn't make sense for Gary. But in some ways, are you pulling punches for Rich Paul right now, Gary Trent Jr.? For some weird, convoluted, crazy-ass reason, are you not playing up to the top level that you can play, partly because of the advice of Rich Paul and Clutch? I have to wonder about this. I have to reverse this shit. I think about Nick Nurse and his coaching last year and how he was fucking doing that shit on the down low, and he's a Clutch member. That's what I'm saying. I don't trust anybody in Clutch. In some ways, Gary maybe shouldn't be on this team just because he's Clutch. That in some ways, that's something I put against him. It's like, dude, you're not even playing well and you're clutch, and we got to trust you with Rich Paul representing you. Fuck all that. Wash our hands of him. In some ways, I'm getting to this point. He's going to have to really win me over in the last 20 games or so of this season for me to get past the fact that he's represented by Rich Paul. And I mean, seriously, what is that factor and why he's playing so shitty right now? Seriously, what is the factor? Is there any kind of factor from Rich Paul and Clutch for the reason why Gary is not playing well this year? You have to think about that when you have a sandbagging ass coach last year represented by the same agency. I'm just saying, I don't know. Rich Paul hates Toronto for some reason, and he's asking his clients to sandbag while they're playing for us. Could be. It could be. So in some ways, that's what I'm wondering about. The clutch factor with Gary. In some ways, that is very unattractive. Let's just put it that way. Cool Cat saying Scotty's injury is so unfortunate. I hope he gets to play for USA this summer. We'll see who on the Raptors show next man up mentality. Yeah, I don't know. In some ways, I don't listen. If there's timelines and him trying to get better and things like that, the priority for USA basketball is not high on my list. Let's just put it that way. In some ways, maybe because of this injury, he may not be able to go to the team select camp and be involved in it. I don't know. We'll have to see how this all goes. It's getting a little ahead of things. I'm not thinking about Team USA or Team Canada at all right now. So let's just finish the season, and then we'll see where Scotty is with his injuries, and then in relation to that. I don't totally have this wish that you have. In some ways, especially now that he's hurt as of Friday, I don't want him playing this summer with USA. No, I mean, I get it. You want him to get his dreams, and I do want him to get his dreams if that's what he wants. But if he's minorly hurt for the little bit of time right now, going out of the season and into the summer, I just want him to heal. I don't want him down there. Now, if he wants to play competitive ball because he missed some competitive ball at the end of the season, if it's on him, if he really wants it, he wants it, and it works out, I'll support it. But in some ways, I'm leaning towards maybe Scotty should not be representing the USA this summer just because his hand's broken right now. Maybe he shouldn't. Nako's saying Gary can still use his hands well on defense, but I feel safer with Grady getting the shot. I mean, look, Gary's just got to produce more. It's like I'm saying for all those guys, just do things to impress me. Get out there and play at a high level and help us win basketball games. That's all I care about. That's all I want these guys to do. That's all I want to do. Now, Nako, we'll see how things go today, okay? And we'll see about tomorrow. Seriously. Because this is the thing. Yeah, we're going to find out today. Let's see if the Raptors can win. Stargate saying, without Scotty, it's going to be tough to get 30 wins. Other guys are going to have to step up big time. RJ, IQ, and Grady. Can we get 30 by the end of the season? That's what I want to know. We got to get 8 more. Can we get 8 more out of this, 20 or so games still? Maybe. I mean, I hope so. I want to get 8 by the end of March. Now, can we get it by the end of the very end of the season? I'd like to get to 30. For the whole year, at least, if not above 30, a bit for sure. Name is saying, I'm having extreme difficulty getting over the Barnes injury. It's causing me a great deal of stress and anxiety. All right, well, let's work with you for a sec here, nameless, my paisano. Listen, first of all, you need to stay present and understand that it's happening right now. It's okay. Now, you're either getting upset because you have trauma from seeing it and you're sad, or you're having fear about the future. We cannot worry about the future right now. All we have is right now, and we have the Hornets game today. And that we have a team still, and we have great players, and hopefully we can still have a good showing and beat them. Now, I'm going to say this. Scotty's injury could be a lot worse. So we got to look at the bright side of things. I think that he's going to be healing quickly. And if the doctor's right, he could be back by the beginning of April. So I know it's causing anxiety. In some ways, we feel better when the Raptors are full strength and we have the best chance to win. But we just got to roll with the punches and go forward and just do what we can with who we got right now. And Barnes is out. It's just how it is. Cowboys saying, take a deep breath and keep your head up, nameless. Let's fucking go. There you go. Cowboys there to pick you up and bring you with us. That's right. You got shot in the leg in the war. Well, we grabbed you and put you over his shoulders, and he keeps going with you. That's right. That's what he's doing. That's what the Raptor Freak family is here for, support. That's right. Let's see. Tommy Dookie is saying this. Let's see what Tommy Dookie is saying here. No. Oh, he's got Grady. No. Oh, wait, there's a lot. All right, y'all give me a cutoff, please. Please give me a cutoff. Yeah, I've banned a few words, just so you guys know. Okay, that's where I'm at right there. The Dukester. It's all good, bro. I probably might milk it, though. We shall see. Morning, nameless. All right, it's all good. The Dukester. The salute to you. A nameless is saying the Duke of Raptors Freak Nation. That's right. West Coast Raptor Freak president. Tom Duke holding down the Victoria, BC chapter out west. That's right. Tommy Dookie, the Duke of Raptors Freak Nation. G saying, morning, Dr. Suter has a YouTube video describing Scotty's injury for anyone interested. It wasn't the rim. It got caught and bent on the leg. Scotty will be back. Bionic. Don't worry. Nameless. Yeah, I actually opened the stream with this, G. I saw that video and I talked about it right off the bat. So if you want to see what I said about it, and I made my corrections, much like that doctor did, because he was fooled too. He thought that he broke his hand on the rim also, and he made a whole video about it breaking on the rim, and then people pointed out he was wrong, so he reassessed it, and he saw it the other way. So if an expert medical doctor is getting the injury wrong just like me, hey, I don't feel so bad. So yeah, I talked about it right at the beginning. Stargate saying JFL has to convince me first that he misspoke or didn't mean what he said at the early presser before I give him any kind of attention for anything he does. Until then, yeah, that's not a good way to make a first impression. Is to like kind of give tells that you're not really long for this place. Well, we'll see. I'm with Stargate. I'm honestly with him like this. In some ways, what he's saying exactly is I want to see him prove that, he's doing things for the Raptors. I knew he was doing things for the 905, but now you got to do things for the Raptors, JFL. And that's a whole other different kit and a caboodle. You could be a Raptors 905 and not have total allegiance to Raptors organization because G League's mercenaries. Y'all could get plucked up and you could be a Laker all of a sudden out of the blues. So in some ways, that's the way the mentality is on the G League, is that you're not, even though you play for the affiliate for the team, these guys don't just think, oh, I'm on the Raptors. No, they're hoping anybody in this league will come snatch them up and bring them to their main team from here. Saban Lee last year going to his hometown Phoenix Suns and still there, sticking with them from the Raptors 905. These guys have no allegiances to the Raptors on that level unless they're two ways or they're converted or they're Grady Dick. Stuff like that. If they're already like roster spots, sure. But a lot of these guys, Kobe Simmons, Jay-Sean Page, McCurr, these guys could be picked up by any team in the league. So they ain't got no allegiance to the Raptors. That's one thing people got to remember about the G League is that they're auditioning for all the teams all the time, unless they're two ways, unless they're rookies on rookie contracts like Grady Dick. So let's see. Tom Duke saying Lex won't like me implying Big Four might milk it, but it could be wise and productive. Is the T word banned? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that word is not allowed in here. I put it in the marked out words. Yeah, no. Tommy, come on now. You milk it? What do you mean milk it? No, Scott, come on. He's often played hurt already in his career. If he can get out there and play, if he has one good arm, he'll play. Tom, you know he's not going to milk it and sit at home and sit as long as he can out. No, he's not. You know he can't stand that. In some ways, he hated the breaks. He hated the summer last year because he wasn't playing in the NBA season. He couldn't wait for the NBA to start back up again. So, yeah, if the NBA is going on and he's sitting on the sideline watching, he's going to hate that. He's going to hate that. He's going to want to come back as soon as possible. And you say, oh, milk his injury for tanking? No, we're going to win or lose on our merits regardless. There's no purposeful losing. Some ways we may lose a lot, yeah, and keep our pick, but that's not on purpose. It's just because our team is not good enough to compete and win without Scotty playing. Nameless is saying, that's very encouraging and enlightening, G. Thank you for that. There you go. I like that. Yeah, I only think it's going to be a month. That's what that doctor said. Cowboy saying, Bionic Barnes will be back better than ever. I don't think he's going to be bionic, y'all. It's not like he's going to be Luke Skywalker and that droid's going to come over and open his hand up and put some metal thing in his metacarpal so it's replaced. No, they're going to let it just heal. Like the bone has to just grow back together. They don't do anything. They don't cut him open. They don't do nothing. They just got to make sure that his hand, the crack in his hand bone, like fills in solidly, calcifies. That's all they're going to do. In some ways, they don't open him up. They don't do anything. They set it and hope that it just heals properly. That's the whole way they do it right there. So he's not going to have any metal or bionic parts like I do. I have bionic parts. Yeah, I have a bionic elbow. I do, seriously. G saying, speaking of LeBron, Bronny is considering going directly to a team and not going through the draft. Talk about nepotism. Clearly, this is a play to go to the Lakers. Yeah, it sounds like it's all convoluted mess of bullshit. Yeah, that sounds really, really sketchy as hell. Yeah, I heard a little bit of that. I didn't totally understand what they were trying to say, but now that you put it in the way you put it, it does sound like they're just going to say, yeah, why is he not going the draft? Like, how do you do that? How do you avoid the draft? It's like somebody's going to be like, I want to draft Bronny. No, you can't, because he wants to go undrafted and pick his team. That sounds really messed up. That sounds like not fair at all. That sounds like very much finagling and manipulating the system because you're LeBron James. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah. Yeah. Wayne's saying Lex has emotional baggage from Malachi and Precious. Wara and Oshai have done anything boneheaded and have shown potential with intelligent play, but Lex still rightfully skeptical because of Precious. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. It's not because of Precious. It's maybe more about Malachi. No, it's the player type. It's the player type. In some ways, JFL's player type is one that's unattractive to me. In some ways, it's like, yeah, I get it. In some ways, it's like Lou Williams kind of street ball scorer, kind of fill it up kind of guy is something we've wanted for the past couple of years. But in some ways, I didn't want a guy as short as him. I wanted a guy who was 6'6", 6'7", that does that what he does. If he had more height, I would like him more. In some ways, he's a detriment to our defense. And that's what I'm worried about with him, is that if he had just a little bit more height, he probably even wouldn't be in the G League. He would be in the NBA proper already and drafted in. That's the issue right there. That's the issue. 6'3". The man is as tall as me. If not, I might be a little bit taller than JFL because I'm 6'4" on certain days. So, I mean, I am skeptical, but it doesn't have anything to do with Malachi or Precious. It's his player type. I'm always skeptical of that player type. In some ways, he has shades of Gary. Like Gary and him are not that far off from each other. Let's just put it that way. If JFL doesn't hit his shot, well, he's the same as Gary, is what I'm saying. Chris is saying, I also think the retirement of LeBron is near. I don't think Bronny is going to make a team, maybe a G League team. So maybe LeBron will have to play in the G League to play with Bronny. Chris, I'm going to give you a dunk for that. This man just scored 40,000 points in the NBA. Like, just push the ceiling to limit. And you're talking about him coming around and playing in the G League. I love this. I love this so much. You're getting a three-pointer, Chris. For that is just hilarious. I think a lot of people would laugh at it. Some would laugh at it because it's so silly sounding, but someone will laugh at it because it sounds so funny if it actually happened. That's the way I'm laughing at it. But our Laker fan would laugh at it because they think it's ridiculous. But I'm laughing at it because the image of it makes me think it's funny. Yeah, Tom's think it's funny too, man. Big up yourself, Sheriff, a.k.a. Mountain Standard Time. We'll have to see. The Bronny saga is something that we will pay attention to, but honestly, I don't give a shit about. in some ways. I really don't. All right, let's see. CountryCon saying, Lex, we've arrived at an intriguing, if not unfortunate, point of our season. We have to make the best of the situation. Let's see how Grady does as a starter. He'll hold the fort until Scotty returns. There you go. There's another vote. We've got 3 votes now that want to see Grady Dick start in the place of Scotty today. 3 votes. I knew Country Kong would say this. If anybody's going to say Grady needs to start today, I knew JP would be one of them. I knew he would. Yeah, I'd like to see this too. I would. Name was saying F hockey, stupido, effing game. There you go. There's the Dana one finger salute. Hopefully she's off the DL and she's using that finger again. If not, Nameless is a suitable backup. That's right. Nako saying, been using Nako the Nacho since grade 11. Wow, I didn't realize that. You watch people score like 2 points in a 2-hour game and watch like 2 or 3 fights in hockey. Boring sport. It's annoying to me. I mean, I get it. I don't want to go off on hockey right now. In some ways, I don't really have major problems with hockey other than the side effects of how it affects the Raptors. In some ways, I like the sport. In some ways, I've enjoyed it in the past. In some ways, I have a family that plays it, that very much loves it very much out west in Manitoba. I have girl cousins that played like women's hockey at like pretty good levels, like very good levels. I have one cousin, she's an amazing goalie. So in some ways, I don't want to poo-poo or come down on it. I said what I had to say about the effect it has on the Raptors and broadcasting, and it's annoying. Yeah, I get it. You guys watch Sports Center, and you'll have to sit through 15 minutes of hockey highlights before you even see anything basketball. I get it. It's not fair. In some ways, they say they're catering to their market. Well, I don't think that. I think they're shaping their market on purpose, and they're not really catering to the true market of sports fans in some ways. Some people say, what are you talking about? Hockey's just dominant, man. Hockey's just better than basketball. More Canadians care about hockey than basketball. Well, the market has changed a lot, and y'all are totally holding it. You're gatekeepers. In some ways, that's part of it, is y'all are gatekeeping. And maybe the gatekeeping is at the highest level of like, no WNBA in Toronto. That's gatekeeping. You guys gatekeep with your broadcasts on TSN and Sportsnet, and you gatekeep with decisions like Ed Rogers III to say no WNBA franchise for Toronto. It's gatekeeping. And y'all keep gatekeeping the NBA and the Raptors as much as you can. In some ways, you can't cage this animal. You can't cage this animal. Y'all try and gatekeep this animal in a pen? No, we're going to bust out with another Larry O'Brien. And then it's all crazy and global and the most profitable and valuable franchise in sports in Canada. That's it right there. You can't gatekeep this. We're going to run all over the place. Cowboys saying what Masai did this summer was in front of the curve. Sooner than later, lots of teams are going to have to rebuild. Our retooling will go down in history when we win it all next year. That's awesome. Cowboy, I love your attitude, man. I wish I could see that future next year. That'd be amazing. We'll see. I think there's some truth to what you're saying about the second apron and the changes with the salary cap. The Raptors are really keeping that kind of thing in mind as far as flexibility this summer and ways they can do things. There's some other teams that are really bad places with their cap and how much money they're paying people they're going to be really in trouble in the next couple of years because of the new rules. So knowing Bobby and Masai, they're probably really smart and savvy to the new rules, and they're gaming it to their advantage. And some of the other teams that are really hamstrung in really bad place financially with not having any mobility may have to make really bad decisions because they're forced to. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this goes because the new CBA is very different. And the aprons and everything are very different than they were just like 2 years ago right now. Yeah. C4C, good to see you. Good morning to you. Fire. Smoke, she is a rising fire. Smokestack lightning. A little cult there. Yeah. Wayne Strainer saying, freaks, Grady is a role player. He can't hold down anything that Scotty had responsibility for. I think Wayne's partly right, but I don't know if he's totally being fair to Grady and his skill set and what is possible with him. I mean, he's not going to be able to consistently do everything that Scotty does for sure, especially some of the size stuff. But you may be surprised some of the areas that Grady may be able to fill that you may not have thought about. We'll have to see. Are you implying, Wayne, that you don't think he should start? Are you saying that he should just still come off the bench and we have better options to start in the place of Scotty than Grady? I think that's what he's implying there. Yeah, Tom's got Grady on blast with the sunglasses. I like that. Is that a new one? I haven't seen Grady with the sunglasses before. I think that's a new emoticon. Tom's working right now. Cowboy saying MSJ needs a cookie. David, where are you? All right, you want to give MSJ a cookie? We'll give him a cookie. Real quick, you're at 30 dunks now, Chris. 30 dunks for the year. All right, let's see. C4C saying huge wrestling fan here too. You going to go to Money in the Bank weekend here in Toronto? Wow, I didn't know Money in the Bank was here in Toronto. I don't watch the current product. It's weird. I stopped watching wrestling in the mid 2000s when Vince got the monopoly. When he acquired WCW and ECW, I was peacing out after that. I saw the invasion angle and I saw the NWO and Hogan versus Rock. I was at that WrestleMania here in Toronto at the Sky Dome when Hulk Hogan fought The Rock. And very shortly after that, my interest in wrestling went away because the product went so bad, like in the second half of the 2000s, and I haven't come back. Like I don't watch AEW or any of it. I'm a classic wrestling fan from previous pre 2005, and I don't watch it currently. It'd be weird to go now and kind of check it out. But I really don't have interest in it. I really don't. I'm really disappointed in what wrestling's become, honestly. I'm like one of those guys. I'm a Cornette guy. I'm a Cornette person. I listen to Jim Cornette and I don't watch current wrestling. That's who I am. Yeah, C for C. Cowboy saying Grady is going to break his all-time high in points today. That'd be cool. I'm here for it. I like to see that. Chris is saying I wasn't wrong anyway. Apparently smarter than a doctor. I'll take it. I mean, listen, if you want a cookie, David can come and give you a cookie. Seriously, if you really want that cookie for that. Listen, Chris, it's all good, man. If you really want that cookie, it's fine. I admit I was wrong. If you really want to have the right to say you're right on this, I mean, it's fine. It's not even like such a weird thing to be like, I was right about. This is a sad thing. It's not something to be like, I wanted to get the bottom of it. I didn't want to just assume. My educated guess is the educated guess of a doctor's. And in some ways, that's a good sign for me, but we were wrong. We were wrong. And you steadfastly said this and this. Okay, you were right. If that's what you want, you get it. Here's your cookie. I mean, is it important? I mean, let's see. Stop it. Yeah, stop it, MSJ, is what Cowboy's saying. Nameless saying, that's part of my anguish, knowing it was one of the flukiest hand injuries I've ever seen. Yeah, it wasn't necessary in some ways. In some ways, this is why I caution about Scott being extra. It wasn't necessarily totally about pissing off the other team and causing them to get all crazy and pissed off and try and score on us. It's also because if you do extra shit, sometimes you welcome, like, I was going to say he's going to get hurt because of being so extra. But, in some ways that is something like that. You got to be very disciplined and very thinking about how you use your body on the court. And if you got to really gauge it in a split second of timing of your judgment of what you should do. And maybe jumping after that block shot was not the right decision at that moment. Although I don't want to stop Scott from being aggressive. I don't want to stop. Scotty's aggressiveness is important. So it's a balance. It's a fluke injury. And that's why you're upset about it. I get it. Fiercely saying alley-oop to Cowboy. You're right. Once again, we started the trend of retooling earlier. This season was rough, but watch out next year. All right, we'll give an alley-oop to Cowboy. Yeah, I think in some ways it's not ideal what we did this year, but in some ways it may set us up for like next year really well is what it is. It's like I feel like that may be the benefit of messing up your team right in the middle of the season is you're kind of getting a whole half season to lean into the next season. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Nako's saying everyone needs to stroke a dick joke once. No, that doesn't work exactly right, Gerald. We'll work on this. The jokes got to be better than that. Let's see. Cowboy saying alley-oop right back at you, Fiercey. No front office can do what Masai and Bobby did with a coach like Chef Darko. We come in NBA, like it or not. All right, you want to give one back to Fiercey. All right, I just do what I'm told. I just do what I'm told. Here we go. 43 for Fiercey. She's got the Siakam number. Let's see. Carlos saying, I see losing Scotty as a blessing in disguise. It makes the development of IQ on fast track. Now, this is something that is exactly right. I think that because Scotty is going to be absent, this could really help IQ's development or RJ's. or Grady's, any of these guys. That's the blessing in disguise. When a superstar player is out for a season, other people have to step up. They get better. And when the superstar player comes back, they're still better, and the superstar's back. Logic. So I think that this is going to be true. I think that they're going to have to carry a lot of weight, and there may be some really good like strides in development, partly because of that, with guys like IQ and RJ. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Chris is saying, I think my ways of trash talking on the court shows itself here. Cowboy, once I start talking about basketball, it surfaces. Okay. We're talking about medical stuff. Stargate saying, I'm a huge wrestling fan as well, but not this new school nowadays wrestling. I'm more of an old school WWF and NWA and Stampede wrestling fan. That's awesome. Yeah, when I was a little kid, I lived in Tallahassee. So I went to wrestling matches in the mid 80s of NWA and Florida wrestling. So I was seeing Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, the Road Warriors, Magnum TA, Barry Windham, Lex Luger when he was a rookie. Yeah, those were the wrestling matches I was going to. The first match I ever went to was Great Muta wrestling as the Ninja in the opener match against some jobber. And he was amazing. So the very first match I ever went to in person was seeing the Muta do the leaps and bouncing off of the ring ropes and stuff. Yeah, those were the days. Yeah, I am definitely an old school fan too. I watch a lot of Stampede wrestling currently on YouTube. It's amazing how much Stampede is on YouTube. You can go back and watch like old Owen Hart from like 1985, 84. It's amazing. It's amazing how much is on YouTube. You can see from old school WWF, NWA, Stampede wrestling. That's right, Stargate. So you're a similar fan like me. Yeah. Cowboy saying, me too, Carlo. Development for the whole team. That's right. 100%, Carlo. Got to see it that way. That's right. Somebody's gone. Somebody's got to step in that spot, and they get developed themselves. Yeah, I just want to see Wara and other young guys rather than Bruce Brown. Yeah, I'm not really big on Bruce Brown. And plus, I keep looking at like our roster and our salaries. RJ makes the most, and Bruce Brown makes the second most on our team right now. In some ways, that doesn't sit well with me. With the production and what he contributes, that he makes $22 million a year. That's how much he's supposed to get paid next year if we take his player option. So you think about whether Bruce Brown is worth that price tag, and whether the Raptors should be like, yeah, we'll pay you 22 to continue doing this, what you're doing on our team at this point. No, I don't think he's worth it. I don't think he's worth it. Let's see. Cowboys dapping MSJ. Tom Duke saying, again, Carlos, I agree. Yeah. Cowboys saying, ditto, Carlo. Let the young Bucks play. You need an alley-oop. Or you want me to alley-oop Carlo now? All right, I'll get it, Carlo. Carlos had a good couple of comments for sure. Let's see. There we go. All right. Let's see. Wayne saying, I like Jonte. We need to see just a little aggression and hunger. He's a very cerebral individual, and NBA is nice, but he's good without playing basketball. Really love seeing people like him play. He's pretty good. I like Jonte too. Well, I think he'll be getting some more time on the regular team soon too. All right, Milbester got deleted. What did he do? Let's see what Milbester's saying. All right. Good morning, Lex. How was the Hornets Raptors game? It's today. It hasn't happened yet. It's at 6 p.m. tonight, Milbester, just so you know. How did RJ and IQ do? LeBron got 40K. My cousin was telling me that if he didn't miss 1 or 2 games a season, made free throws more, maybe 50,000. Milbester. All right, let me just keep going. Fiercely saying, Olenek and Barrett, and let's see if they'll have hometown distractions as well, but I doubt it. No, they won't. They won't. And I'll tell you why. Both of them individually why. First of all, Kelly has not lived in Toronto since he was like 7 or 8 years old. He did not live here as a teenager. He moved when he was like a young child. He lived in Scarborough. And then when he was like, before he was 10, he moved to BC. So all of his teenage friends and high school friends are in British Columbia. They're not in Toronto. So in some ways, the family and people that he knows here are family. He may know some little kids that he went to elementary school with that he really maybe didn't do anything like partying or anything like that. So it's not going to be with Kelly. Now, RJ said this, excuse me, when he came back, because somebody asked him about this question exactly. And you know what he said? He said, if I came here right away as a rookie, yeah, that may have been a problem. But because I've been in New York for a couple of years and I've established myself as a pro and I understand what NBA lifestyle is, I can separate them at this point in a mature way and keep it all in the right places. In fact, he's also said he's not staying at home. He's not living with his dad or anybody in his family. He has his own place. And in some ways, he got his own place near the OVO Center so he could just really work. In some ways, he's in Toronto. He's from Mississauga. He knows a lot of people here, but he doesn't care. He's come to the city and playing for Toronto like he doesn't live here. He's like living in an apartment by himself and just going to OVO as much as possible. So, yeah, it's not going to be a problem with RJ because he said he's matured enough at this point in his career. If he had came here straight from the draft, it may not have worked like Delano. But because he's been in New York for a couple of years, it's going to work. It's going to be fine. So that was his own answer to that question himself. The first week he showed up on the Raptors. That's what he said. He's got his own place. He's not staying with his family. He's very much orienting his life around the Raptors and doing everything for the Raptors. And all that extracurricular shit ain't got nothing to do with it. He's just Raptors, baby. He's only worrying about that. Yeah, don't worry about it. I just told you why. Wayne's saying, Milbester, get updated before asking questions, please. Yeah, he thought the game already happened. He thought it was last night. No, it's today. Let's see. Knicks are at Cleveland playing the Cavs tonight, then back to MSG for another 4-game homestand before their second West Coast trip. Jordan, had he not retired twice, not played 4 years in college, $40K. I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda. We can't say this. Jordan took that time off and he missed time. There's all kinds of things we can say woulda, coulda, shoulda on. And Jordan isn't the best example of who could have gotten up there and closer to LeBron and his point total. Once again, I will say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record is way better than LeBron's because he didn't take threes. The fact that Kareem is second on the list and closest to LeBron with 40,000 without shooting three-pointers needs to be noted more and more. Honestly, because people are going to forget about Kareem in the shadow of LeBron, and it's a travesty. It's a damn travesty. So yeah, forget about Jordan. Talk about Abdul-Jabbar. Excuse me. Yeah, the game's tonight, Milbester. The game is tonight. Let's see. Kobe, if he didn't have the Achilles injury, he would have gotten a 40K. But that injury killed his career and forced him to retire sooner. There's a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda coming from Milbester today. Cool Cat saying Lowry, DeMar, Pascal jerseys for sure will be retired. And so will be that 23. Watch. Fred VanVleet, he will be retired also. Because his number is important to our history. And yeah, Fred's story is such a success story. We should definitely celebrate Fred's story. You're not going to see anybody wear 23 either. Watch. Let's see. Tom saying, yeah, no doubt, Mel. No one really cares one bit about that Schmicks or Schmavaliers game or their schedules. Now, be nice, Tommy. Milbester is our designated Knicks freak, and he's harmless. He's a nice guy. He means well. I'll carve him up sometimes, though, because he'll say things he doesn't mean to be putting us down, but he does sometimes. And that's part of the comedy. Yeah. Wayne's saying, sort out your NYC friend, Lex. All right, I will. We'll see. We'll go as it goes. Milbester's fine. He's fine. He means well. He's just talking about 40K right now. Let's see. Jordan, if he didn't retire twice, yeah, okay, yeah, you said that already. I won't read that again. Yes, sir, Tom Dukeson. No. Okay, let's see. Milbester's saying, Tom, that game is very important to East standings. We are the dogs of the East. Raptors have to bow down to both teams. Okay, now you're in trouble. I didn't know you were going to do this, Milbester. We don't bow down to you motherfuckers. No, we don't. When's the last time y'all won a championship? Come on now, Milbester. Don't get all big in your britches. You got to understand, part of the success you're having is from former Raptors. And we humor you being here partly because of that. Now, I want to say this right now. Since you guys made that deal with Detroit, y'all have been losing. In fact, ESPN has an article out that's saying that y'all might fall out of the playoffs. Seriously. That's what they're saying right now, that you and Philly are in danger of falling out of the playoffs. There's an article on the front page of ESPN right now that says that, Milbester. Who the fuck are we supposed to bow down to? Well, y'all may be right next to us very soon. So yeah, you go ahead and start writing these checks with your mouth. You ain't done nothing yet to actually be able to cash nothing. So you go ahead and say what you're saying. I ain't bound down to none of this kind of bullshit. In fact, why you do this, man? We were friends. You didn't have to do that. In some ways, we don't care about your matchup with the Cavs. We really, really don't. In fact, I think the Cavs are going to beat y'all because they're playing way better than you. And you guys are hurt still. And as I said, ESPN is forecasting y'all might fall out of the playoffs. And that'll be the craziest thing because y'all rose up. Y'all looked so good when OG showed up. And then OG got hurt, and y'all have gone in the dumpster since then. That just shows how important OG Anunoby is to your team. So, yeah, don't disrespect Raptors space. Seriously, we don't have to bow down to both these teams, especially the Cavs. Fuck them. They're an arch rival. We will resist. We'll smack them in the face and spit it in their face before we do that. That's right. That's right. Cool Cat saying, Lex, you cracked me up with Lumberyard Bruce Brown. So accurate. Yeah. I mean, he should be on Trailer Park Boys. Like, Bruce Brown would be a cool extra character if they still made that show. Like, he could just be the crazy guy on the parking lot. I mean, they're all that in the trailer park. They're all a little crazy. Yeah. Tom's saying, sorry, not sorry. Also, maybe watch what we have been discussing already before commenting. Yeah, that's a good piece of advice. It sounds like Tom Duke's not a fan of Milbester. I have to factor this in. I know Monique already isn't a fan of Milbester. Milbester, watch out. I have to give you a strike for one of your comments. If I give you 2 more, I'm banning you from the channel. So do not disrespect the Raptors, man. I like the Knicks. I want to root for y'all. Don't make me hate the Knicks because you're telling us we have to bow down to them. No. Y'all won a championship in the 70s. Don't even come at me like that. Seriously. Yeah. Chris is saying your Gary theory might be right. Like, is he pulling punches? Is he like the way he's missing free throws at the beginning of the season is uncharacteristic. How do you go from being the best free throw shooter for the Raptors to being one of the worst? Like, that's not something that, like, if you have pride, you fix that. But he was really bad at the free throw lines for a long time. Was he shaving fucking shit? Was he causing problems on the down low? Was he part of the issues why things were so murky and not working with our very talented old players like Anunoby and Precious and Pascal and those guys when they were on our team? Was Gary submarining us with his shitty shooting and bad free throw shooting because Clutch told him to? Because Clutch told Nick to submarine our season before, and Gary's doing it the second year afterwards? I don't know. Jordan Bolton probably be disappointed in me for saying this. I don't know. When Rich Paul and LeBron and Clutch are involved, I don't trust jack shit. I really don't. These guys manipulate shit. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right, Milbester, tread lightly is what I'm saying. Knicks have one more game with the Raptors anyways before the season ends. They have to play in Toronto, and at least OG will be back by then. We'll get to see another game with RJ and IQ. Yeah, we're playing y'all at the end of this month. Yeah, here in Toronto. And hopefully hopefully OG is available. Hopefully he is. Your timeline with OG, you may be surprised. He takes a little longer to come back than you think. They may tell you, yeah, he's going to be back for this, but it may be another week after that, just so you know. He's always done this. I just know because he's been on our team his whole career until he came to y'all. They tell us a timeline, and it's always a little longer, just so you know. OG takes a little longer, just so you know. Fiercely saying, I got the OG jersey first, but it was hard to find. Everywhere you could only get number 4, 23, and 43. It was a sight of them being the most popular and impactful. Yeah. OG's a good one. Cowboys saying, you're going to lose that game, Milbester. Watch. Cowboys right. I hope he is. We'll have to see. Well, who knows where we're at that point. Let's see. Milbester saying, not with OG back, we won't. Quit that pipe dream. A little bit of smack talk. That's friendly, and that's not too bad. We'll see. Like I said, OG may not be back as soon as you think. Like they always say it's going to be then, but then sometimes it doesn't end up being that way. Just trust me. All right, where are we with the comments? No. Okay, here we are. Cowboys saying, where the fuck is David when we need him? Yeah, that's true. Michael's here. Michael Motley, good to see you, man. Lex, since Gary got here, he hasn't improved. It seemed all right. It's weird. His career has been weird with the Raptors. When he first showed up in the Tampa year, he was on our team in the Tampa season, y'all. Just so y'all know, that's how long. He was very new that half season that he showed up when we traded him for Norm. And then the second season, he developed a defensive side of things to his game. And that's why everybody's like, Nick's a genius. They unlocked Gary Trent Jr. as a steals guy, as a guy who can really be a good badgering backcourt with Fred VanVleet. And for a while, that was really good for a couple years. Last year, I felt like Gary leveled up a little bit in January when he had those string of 30 plus games that he put together. That looked really good. And in some ways, I was like, well, this is what Gary could be consistently. Man, we could really pay him and we'd be good. But that Gary has not shown up since last year, early in the year last year. And that's the thing that's bugging me right now about things. He's had his ups and downs, but this year has been a down the whole time, Michael. That is for sure. He has not improved this year. In fact, he's regressed. I feel like he's regressed this year. And that's the sad thing. Let's see. Milbester saying, oh, by the way, the Knicks signed Shake Milton from waivers. He was with the Sixers. They got a decent upgrade at the guard position. Now we got Milton, Bojan, and Burks plus OG about to be back. Laugh out loud. Shake Milton's not a bad pickup. He's coming from the Timberwolves. That's where he was last, but he was known for being on the Sixers from before. Now, what I was going to say earlier is that your Detroit Pistons that just showed up, Bojan and Alec Burks, are losers, and they brought that stink of losing. And that's part of why you're losing. Bogdanovich has not been shooting well for y'all since he showed up in the Knicks uniform. He's been absolute shit, honestly. So a lot of your acquisitions are not working right now. A few of them right now are not working exactly right. So I don't know. You go ahead and be confident, Milbester. Keep talking your shit. You might get kicked out of here. And I hope the Raptors kick the shit out of the Knicks at the end of the month. Is this really what you wanted? We could have been friendly. You didn't have to be like this. Is it because Scott got hurt? Now all of a sudden you're talking shit? Is that why you're doing this, Milbester? Because you think all big in your britches because Scotty Barnes is hurt now. And you're not afraid of the Raptors, and now we're seeing the real Milbester? Like, you were a nicer guy just like 3 days ago. Why all of a sudden you talking trash like you are right now? Well, it's not. You won't survive here if you're going to do that. Seriously. Wayne saying Gary Trent Jr.'s lack of consistency makes no sense. That guy was awesome when he got here with game winners, and now he misses open shots with no one near him. If Grady can improve in 2 months, Gary deteriorates. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me either. You've worked this your whole life, Gary. Your dad's been on your ass like Joe Jackson was on Michael Jackson as a young child, and you busted your ass. You're like Grady. You've done the reps. You put the work in. Why the fuck isn't it adding up on the court? That's what I'm saying. You've done your whole life's work to be at this point, to fucking fumble the ball like this, Gary Trent Jr.? If Rich Paul's putting you up to this, tell us. Blink 5 times like this. Then we'll know that you're under duress because you're under hostage by fucking clutch management. Seriously, just let us know. Blink. Let us know if you can't tell us outright. All right, Tom, you're on Tom's patience. Tom's a very nice man, Milbester. If you're pissing off Tom, you may not know who Tom is because Tom has not been here actively for most of the time you've been around. Tom is a very important person on this channel. If Tom doesn't like you and he's deleting your messages, you're in trouble, bro. You got to watch out. Milbester saying Randall is halfway coming back. At least he's in the court practicing. Same spot OG's in. Mitch was already in Nick's bench, so all 3 guys are about to be back at the same time before the playoffs. Well, I would wish you well, but you've been a dick today, so I'm not going to. Mo's saying, W stream, Lex, all around. Keep at it always. Let's try and keep climbing. Go Raptors for life. Sorry for venting in the Facebook chat. It's okay to vent sometimes like that. Subscribe button, like best Raptor Free crew. You know what? Listen, Mo. Listen, vent all you want. I don't care. You can say whatever you want in there. We're all friends. In some ways, we won't always agree on things. Sometimes there'll be little, miscommunications. Maybe there's a little confusion. But for the most part, we know we got each other's backs because our passion and our love is for the team. And we all share that. And in some ways, that keeps us all for one and one for all. And honestly, I love you, Mo. You can't do no wrong to me, honestly. If you have anything you want to say in the Facebook chat, go right ahead. We won't judge, and we're here for you. We're a supportive group, and we're there for you. That's right. Take care, Nameless, is Fiercey saying. And Tom Duke said, have a good day, everyone. Go Raptors. Let's fucking go. Fiercey saying, who deleted Milbester's messages? It was Tom Duke. Tom Duke deleted those messages. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Cowboy saying, if Tom Duke have a safe and blessed day, bro. And Tom saying, enough is enough. He was trolling with his spamming just on a timeout. I don't think he's purposefully trolling. I think that he just has an interest in New York sports, baseball, a lot of different things. Milbester is a good dude. Honestly, I think in some ways he's getting a little big in his britches right now about the Knicks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll allow it to a degree, but we'll see. If he continues in this trend and is a little bit different going forward, because he thinks Scotty's hurt, he can be doing like this. Well, he might get kicked out. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Ooh. Nako saying nobody would have faith in the Magic if Paulo went down. God forbid. I don't know if that's true. They've got a lot of different guys. Like I would say, like, what about Cole Anthony and Franz Wagner and Jalen Suggs? And they got a lot of different people down there. I think it's the same with us too. I think that the casual NBA fans like, oh, Scotty's gone. They have nobody up there. They all conveniently forget Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett. Yeah, they do. They conveniently forget about RJ. Yeah, a lot of people are conveniently forgetting about RJ Barrett. And that's part of the problem right here. Yeah. Yeah. Tom Duke is getting a laugh from Cowboy. Wayne saying, I heard Liberty's comments early season. You guys are out of context. Don't know if you all are commenting on somebody else's perception. I heard him say he's here for Raptors established development. Yeah, it's me, Wayne. It's me. It's completely from me. It was my perception. And I take ownership of that. I watched him, and he said a tell where he said, while I'm here, while I'm with this team, I'd like to get as much development as possible. So he is already talking about being on another place. And that's why I was like, well, it sounds like he's just using us to get attention and to get called up to a big team. And that's what he cares about. And that's normal for a G League player. It's just he said it outright, and he said it right away in his first interview that I ever heard with him. And it was just kind of like, okay, well, that doesn't sound like he has a long-term vision of being on the Raptors, is the way I read it. Now, I talked about it on this channel, and then everybody started saying, oh, I got the perception the JFL is not long for here, because he had said, yeah, while I'm here, I'd like to get as much development as possible. So it sounds like he's already thinking about the next place. That's the only reason why I said that. Now, it's probably changed a lot since this week and him getting a full contract with the Raptors. Yeah, he's probably saying, yeah, I love being here at this point. So I'll amend it. But in the initial of it, it sounded like he was saying he wasn't going to be here much longer. He was going to come, get development, and look forward to being somewhere else. That's me. It's on me. It's my perception that said that, Wayne. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, David saying, poor Milbester. Poor Milbester. Tom saying, bring him cookies. Ha, ha, ha. And Isaac's got the cookies. Toll House. Tom saying, Isaac, good morning today. Morning. Wayne saying, my comment on your delusion with new players is about Wara and Oshai, not Freeman Liberty. He's okay, but his style of play and body type isn't winning sustainable basketball. Yeah, I'm still not totally I'm confused. Wara made a good impression on me before he even came to the Raptors. Like when we got Wara, I was like, well, this guy can shoot threes. He's actually an underrated defensive player. And he showed up right away, and he had an amazing 20 plus game like early in his Raptors career. So Wara's different. In some ways, he comes in already established with me as far as he's an established three-point shooter that I trust. Oshai, I had no idea what he was all about. I'd barely seen Oshai before he came to Toronto, but I'd seen Wara against us in past years with the Bucks and other teams. So that's the difference with that. Yeah. I think that Oshai, in some ways, his style of play is more team conducive because he's two sides of the ball. In some ways, I worry about JFL's defensive side. That's part of the problem there. Yeah. They were saying, what's wrong with Nwora or Oshai? I don't think that anything's wrong with them. No, I'm just we're just talking about whether I accept new players or think highly of them when they come in. I think that's what we're talking about. Cowboy saying everyone slam dunk the like button. Thank you. And that's like giving me a dunk. When y'all hit that like button, that's like giving old Lex a dunk. Let's see. Isaac saying, good to see you, Tom. And look at the cool sunglasses. Look at how cool Grady Dick is with the burning hearts. Ganja farmer. Yeah, Wayne saying nothing. Lex says he's skeptical of them. Nope, Grady can and should start. Who starts games doesn't matter. It's minutes played is the key indicator and when. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm very curious to see who fills in the starting spot for Scotty tonight. Very, very curious to see. Yeah. I'm skeptical of certain players on the Raptors, but some of them I'm not. Some of them I am, some of them I'm not. Wara's not one I'm skeptical of. I know what I get exactly from Wara, and I know the range of like whether he's going to be shitty. He'll either be shitty or he'll be really, really good. Is kind of what it is. David's saying, yeah, the whole starter thing is a little silly, more bragging rights than anything, and that's how it should be anyway. Team will need a team. I think the starter thing is indicative of young people and people just in general in life having to be better than other people. It's like everybody needs something that makes them feel like, oh, I'm above somebody. In some ways, they use the whole idea of starting or coming off the bench as delineating this and making hierarchy with NBA players on whether they should respect them or not. In some ways, it's like, oh, I respect you more if you were a starter. Well, I averaged 20 points off the bench. Can't you respect that? No, because you don't start. It's stupid. It's so stupid. Hierarchy and that kind of stuff is dumb. And there's a lot of good players that come off the bench. They're better than a lot of starters in the NBA. And people just do not do that. Yeah. Milbester's saying, Tom, I didn't even troll or spam. You just timed me out because you're a hater. Didn't even do anything. Yes, you did, actually. You did. Tom knows the rules. Tom is he's like second on this channel. I'm number one because I'm running the channel, but Tommy's my associate producer. He's the guy who put all the little faces in the chat. He's the guy who's my mod. He's like I got a lot of power here. So don't piss Tom off. Just because he just showed up again, he has been gone for a while. He's not somebody. He's got a lot of clout. So yeah, he's not a hater. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I know Tom in person. He's come to visit me in Toronto twice, coming from British Columbia. And Tom is not a hater. Let's trust me on that. He's a very kind-hearted, beautiful soul as a person. He's very much a very sweet person. And he doesn't time people out or do stuff like that unless it's justified. So just trust me on this. You insulted us today. You told us we needed to bow down to the Cavs and the Knicks. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I'm not telling you the Knicks to bow down to the Raptors. So watch yourself, Milbester. He knows what I don't like, and that's why he timed you out. Because in some ways, he doesn't totally know you. He may know you because he's been watching, but in some ways, he's getting his first impression of you being around, and he's like, he's not happy. Let's just put it that way. David's saying, thanks for explaining, Wayne. I showed up late. G's saying, Greedy and Bruce were at the game together. Yeah, they were. Yeah, Tom's saying, hater of what? What was he hating? Hating that you're dissing the Raptors on a Raptor stream? That's what he's hating? That's right. Let David explain, Milbester. Oh, David can explain. Yeah. And Tom's saying, you spam same crap every day, is what he's saying. Yeah, he's just sick of the extra, like too much Knicks stuff. We don't like talking about the Knicks too much. I don't mind talking about Precious and OG and some of the playoff stuff and some of the stuff that's going on with your team, but you're too in depth. Too in depth. That's it. Yeah. David's saying, oh, is Milbester back? I can't even see his comments because I blocked him one day and can't find how to unblock. So he doesn't even see Milbester. David's not seeing him. So that's it. Yeah. Tom's saying not always crap, but irrelevant. It often, Milbester can come in with some things that are important that we can talk about. He's hit and miss. There are often very much things that are relevant to our channel that we do not need to talk about. But he does bring up good conversation too. We got to say that. Fiercely saying 43 dunks for me, and I own a Siakam jersey. Lucky day for us, fam. We're winning tonight. All right, Fiercely. I like that attitude. I like that. David's saying, but whatever they're saying, Milbester, yeah, bud, you mean well, I think. But you should try to incorporate the fact that this is a Raptors stream. We love OG and we love Precious too. There you go. And Milbester saying, since when was superstar players being mentioned irrelevant? You should be glad Raptors get mentioned because the rest of the league, they're irrelevant. But I know the Knicks fans they aren't. All right, you're out. You're out. That'll get you out right there. Goodbye, Milbester. You're never coming back. You just fucking close the door on yourself. All right, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to skewer you pretty bad. Because honestly, you really disappointed me. Because honestly, I really did like you, my guy. But I'm not going to stand up for this kind of egregious bullshit. Listen, I don't give a fuck about LeBron's 40,000. This is not an NBA channel. LeBron is not big news to us. The rest of the league and media can suck his dick and put him all over the place, but we're not doing that here. We don't care. In some ways, like I said, I don't totally respect his record. In some ways, I don't give a shit about talking about Kobe or Michael or other people possibly getting to 40,000 because that shit didn't happen, Milbester. You're just wasting our fucking time with fucking dumbass mental exercises that don't have anything fucking do with Raptors, don't have anything to do with this. This is not an NBA channel. This is a Raptors channel. I cover NBA stuff. I will cover some NBA things, but LeBron is not first and foremost on my priority list to cover. Fuck LeBron. So you saying, all right, you're saying, since when was superstar players being mentioned irrelevant? They are irrelevant here. I don't give a shit. This is not the LeBron channel. This is not the Lakers or Knicks channel. So, I tolerate talking about LeBron when it's necessary. But in some ways, you wanted to make a whole conversation in here about LeBron's 40,000 in our stream. Fuck you for that. That's not what I want on my content. I'm here to preview a Hornets and Raptors game that you thought happened yesterday, you dumbass. So, I mean, that's all I got to say about this, Milbester, in some ways. You're going to say we should be glad we get mentioned because the rest of the league? You know what? Listen, motherfucker. This is a Raptors-centric channel. And we talk about the Raptors. They're not irrelevant in any kind of way, anywhere, anytime on this channel. Now, you are irrelevant at this point because you've shown your ass at this point, and don't let it hit you on the way out the door because you're fucking out of here. I'm really disappointed in you, man. Is this because Scotty got hurt? You think you're all big in your britches now? Nah, seriously. I'm going to tell you this right now. The Yankees suck a big fat dick. I hope the Yankees never, ever win another World Series. I hope the Knicks fucking go down like a flame, a fucking pile, a heap of dumpster for the rest of the season. I hope y'all get your ass beat and put out. I was rooting for y'all until you fucking made an ass of yourself just now. So now you ain't got me rooting for you in the playoffs. So fuck the Knicks. I hope the fucking Knicks don't even make the playoffs like ESPN's predicting now today. They said y'all's injuries may fuck y'all up to get there. You may be more needing to be worried than you think. You're getting all cocky and shit, talking your bullshit today. Well, you're out. You're out. Fuck you, Milbester. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right, there you go. We'll talk about what's relevant and isn't relevant. On a Raptors channel, motherfucker, you don't know what's relevant as Raptors fans, you piece of shit. So go on with your WBC talking bullshit, motherfucker. Yeah, you're gone. You're not welcome here no more. There you go. Cowboys saying, Tom ain't no hater. You're on the Raptors Freak channel, dumbass. All right, let's keep going. David saying, we don't care about the Knicks. You got to figure out where that line is and try and respect it. That's right. I've not been disrespectful towards you and the Knicks. I've tried to talk them up. I've talked about it. I've humored you in all kinds of fucked up ways. Like when you're coming in at the end of my stream and I want to leave and go eat my lunch and you're fucking bringing some baseball bullshit to me all the time, Milbester, fuck you. Get the fuck out. That's what I say right there. I've had enough. I've had enough. My regulars, the Raptor Freak family, the Raptor Freaks, the Raptor fans that this channel is for, not for your sorry ass New York motherfucker. Not for you. This channel is for Tom. This channel is for David. This channel is for Fiercey. This channel is for MSJ. This channel is for the real ones. Monique, the super fan Lawrence. Not for Milbester. No. That's too bad. I really wish you could have coexisted. I'm shocked, actually. The Sixers fans are coexisting with us better than Knicks fans all of a sudden. Holy crap. Like, I can get along with Blue City. I can get along with some of the old Sixers fans that used to come in here all the time and talk to us. Yeah. But at this point, yeah, Random Gamer. Shout out. Shout out, Random Gamer. Yeah. But Knicks fan, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Because OG's coming back soon. Oh, you feel all big in your britches? Ooh, OG's coming back. I can talk shit. Ooh. Knicks haven't been relevant until this year. So don't talk to me about relevancy. Y'all ain't fucking been relevant for like fucking 3-4 decades almost. Seriously, 3 decades at least since Ewing left. So don't even give me an idea about relevance. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Tom's saying Lex is going to read your comments and we'll all hear about the Knicks. There you go. Tom is exactly right. You just heard it. David saying RFF and Lex clearly all welcoming you. Just be here, say a couple things, and go with the flow. Yeah, it's too bad. It's over. It's over. In some ways, yeah, Cowboys saying, wait for it. It came. Fiercely saying, hi, Milbester. Just use the right dosage of Knicks content and you'll be fine because you do have good insight on OG and Precious, the only two Knicks we care about. All right, this is the last one I ever read. And if it's bad, yeah, I'm not going to regret this. I wasn't flooding it much, laugh out loud. Besides, there's other fans too. I'm just a small percentage of my fan base too. Besides, the season will be over soon and my team will be in the playoffs, laugh out loud. Yeah, he's a little shit. You didn't have to do this, Milbester. You really didn't have to do this. You were flooding it with extra bullshit that we don't talk about here. That's just what I'm saying. On the regular. Yeah, crap like that. Yeah, Milbester, you're now officially trolling, and you are gone. Yeah, that's definitely trolling. Don't poke the bear. There are other teams who can shock you and put the Knicks out. Yeah, you're not building goodwill. In some ways, this alliance is off. Survivor Alliance over Knicks and Raptors Nation because you fucked it up, Milbester. Now all the Raptors fans are going to say, fuck you, Knicks. We hope you lose, even though we love OG. That's right. David's saying, damn, I wish I could see what he's saying. Haha. Yeah, he went out of pocket, David. You can hear what he said. I read it to you. Tom's saying, well done, Milbester. He wasn't really a troll. I think he meant well. It's just he's getting cocky all of a sudden. He was never cocky. He was very much just kind of grounded and let's just talk basketball. But all of a sudden he feels like getting all cocky and shit. It's kind of fucked up. Wayne saying Knicks being relevant is akin to the Lakers' relevance for not winning anything, but merely existing through NBA's caste system. Boom goes a dynamite. And that one right there gets a 3-pointer for Wayne because that is very, very true. In some ways, the Knicks and the Lakers are forced on us as being important when in a lot of cases there never have been important in the last 10 years. Honestly, it's crazy. Yeah, let's see. David saying, oh my God, this is like falling asleep during the best movie. I can't see what he's saying. You want to see him so bad. Well, he's gone. It doesn't matter. Let's see. David's saying, sounds like Milbester's going mental. Yeah, I don't know. He's saying that as sarcasm, but I can't read sarcasm in a text. So even if you're being sarcastic, it's not going to come off the way you think it is. I'm going to read it for what it is, Milbester. David's saying, seriously, there's literally a Knicks Digest channel. Don't they just do a live stream? Yeah, there's so many other Knicks. There's Knicks spaces, Milbester, for you. You can go there. You've enjoyed being around the Raptors Nation, the Raptors Freaks. Well, your time is up. You're done. It's too bad. Alley-oop to David. Yeah. I wish David, don't block people that annoy you. I want you to be annoyed. Stop blocking people, David. You're not allowed to block anyone in the chat anymore, David. We need you to see these people and their idiocy so you can just eviscerate them. Seriously, David, what are you doing blocking trolls and people like Milbester? You need to see them. G say, my team will be in the playoffs. Laugh out loud is not sarcasm. That is trolling. I think you need to read the room better and take a breath. This is the thing. I'm telling you, there is an article on ESPN right now. I'm not trolling. This is the damn truth. They are saying that there's a real fear that both the Sixers and the Knicks, either one of them or both of them, could be out of the playoffs and in the play-in very soon. That's part of it is the fear that Knicks Nation is under right now because they're really close to falling back into the play-in because they've struggled. Same thing with the Sixers. Seriously, there's fear in this. This part of this overconfidence that he has is fear. I'm just going to say that. Isaac saying, did you hear that AI is getting a statue in Philly? My grade 3 taught me that you nearly got one, just one vowel off. AO, that's the answer I'm talking about. That makes sense. I mean, he should have a statue there probably. Wayne saying, if Mel actually watched the games, his commentary would be relevant. Okay, and David's laughing. Let me see. All right, let me see. I will read this Milbester quote because he's talking about RJ. Hang on. Lex, how's RJ's family and friends doing with him back at home? RJ has to be happy he's in Canada. He's more comfortable than in New York, but he handled both places really well. See, that's a nice comment. That's the kind of stuff that I was used to from Milbester. That's why his heel turn is so shocking. It's kind of like Hogan. It's like NWO. What'd you do, Milbester? You went with the outsiders, Nash and Hall. Why'd you do this, bro? You just broke all the Hulkamaniacs' hearts doing this, my guy. No, it's great, RJ being home, and he's really enjoyed being around his family. But like I said, he's keeping it separated. The really intense market in New York really did train him very well for his first couple of years in the NBA to be a lot more savvy and not as naive. and on top of things. I mean, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Is what they're saying about New York. So if RJ can handle that press market and the fans and everything that comes with being a top Knicks player, oh yeah, he'll be fine here. He'll be fine here. We treat people a little better in some ways, fandom wise. You know, he'll get an extra here too with a lot of the negative fans just because he's from our city. People are less likely to go at him for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Justice Stars here. We need Raptors to lose tonight. Yes or no? I don't know. I think for morale, we need to win because it may be just a star that we're not going to be winning very many games soon. And we got to get them when we can. And for morale and just for like, in some ways, these guys got to prove in Scotty's absence that they can do things and be successful. So the game tonight is, yes, we need to win. And it's not about like thinking about like the draft pick issue and that kind of stuff. I just say we need to win because that's what we're doing. That's what they're saying. We're trying to win, even if we don't win because we don't have a good enough team. But we should have a good enough team against the Hornets tonight to beat them. If we're looking at the talent. Now, when we play the Suns later this week or the Pelicans on Tuesday, will we have the talent to match up with those teams and beat them possibly? Maybe not. But the Hornets, we do. So we need to take these opportunities when we get them. I will say that. Just to start. Good to see you. 9:30 a.m. every morning. We're talking Raptors here. Yeah, there's to go. Milbester, I'll read this one too. One more real quick, just in memory of you. That is true, Lex. Everyone forgets Kareem scored 39,000 as a center without making threes. Maybe Wembayama passing LeBron and Kareem would be more impressive being he's a forward. Yeah, I don't know. Kareem's a center. Let's see. David's laughing. What planet Earth? What? Cool Cat saying, Lex, the only reason I didn't mention 23 is because it's really Jordan's number 23. So not sure how it's handled by the NBA, just like 8 and 24 around the league. Well, they're not going to do what they did with Bill Russell for Michael. No. If they do that later down the road, well, Fred's grandfathered in. Nah, Fred's 23 on the Raptors it's not Michael Jordan's 23. And they may handle Michael's number. Well, he's been retired for how long, and they've never done this? I mean, the Bill Russell thing was done in his death. If they retire 23, it'll be after Michael dies. Let's just put it that way. And at that point, if some of the teams have already retired number 23 for somebody that was in their history already, that can happen. I mean, I get what you're saying. In some ways, they don't want to do this league-wide like what they did for Bill Russell very often. You can't retire a number league-wide like too often. And Bill Russell was the right one to do it. I don't know if Michael is the right one to do it, though. But they could. They could. But Fred should get his number 23 retired because that's the one he wore while he was here. But I get what you're saying. Just like 8 and 24 around the league, they're not going to retire Kobe's numbers, especially both of them. No, this is a very rare, like maybe 1 or 2 people will get this honor ever in the history of the NBA. Bill Russell and Michael. Those will be the only 2. I could see them doing it for Michael, but they won't do it for Kobe. They did it for Bill. But they really don't want to do this. Like nobody in the league can wear number 6 now, ever again, because of Bill Russell. They're not going to do that with Michael. And you know why? Because there's a lot of young players like Fred VanVleet that wear 23 in honor of Michael. And in some ways, guys are going to want to wear 23 in the league. So I don't see them league-wide retiring Kobe or Michael's numbers in some ways because people love them. They want to honor them by wearing their numbers. There's not as many people that want to wear 6 to honor Bill Russell. And in some ways, because he's from a bygone era, that he needs to be not forgotten. Like Kareem, what we're talking about, that's the way you make sure Bill Russell's never forgotten. You retire number 6. Yeah, so I don't see it. I don't see it for those because that's too much. That's just too much. That is just too much. All right, I'm not reading any more of you, Milbester. Yeah, just a star. All right, guys. I really don't want to read all of Milbester's bullshit here, so I'm really going to start skipping him because it looks like things have just degenerated. Let's see. Fiercely saying, tread lightly. Milbester, I didn't read that diss on time, and Lex read it out loud. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, unfortunately, standard OG freak injury has hit and put a team's success in jeopardy. Availability is the best availability. Yeah. Okay. 11-17. All right. I'm a little behind. Cowboys saying, later, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Have a great, safe, and blessed weekend. Sunday, we're winning. Let's go, Raptors. I like that. David saying, oh, come on. You don't mean that, don't you? About the Gary thing. I don't know. That's a theory. It's a theory. Fiercely saying Gary worked 3 years with Dame and CJ. He was good the first year with us, but no improvement whatsoever the last 2 seasons. Plateau. I got this rationale from NBA Chev, and he's right. I would argue that 30-game streak that he had in January last year was a new height last season, but it wasn't sustainable, and we didn't see it going forward after that, which is too bad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. David's saying people have a funny way of seeing things. It's a bit different with no Nick, Fred, Pascal, or OG, don't you think? Sure. Fiercely saying no improvement at all, and it's suspicious. I don't know if it has something to do with what Clutch and his value has. The thing about it with him is, all right, you could say the biggest difference for Gary last year and this year is the coach. Last year, Nick very much understood that Gary was essential for us to win. So he was all kinds of giving things to Gary to make him as comfortable as possible with as many shot attempts, any kind of shot attempts he wanted. Now, this year, Darko's a little bit more put Gary in a box as far as what he can and can't do. Like, there's a lot of that dribble sidestep shit and a lot of this stuff that Gary is doing with the ball in his hand that Darko doesn't want him to do because he wants him to pass it instead. So that's been an adjustment for Gary Trent, is Darko's offensive system of looking to pass and move the ball quickly. Because Gary really is a black hole. Like, he gets that ball, he'd rather just hold on to it and devise the way to score himself by making a move and losing his defender. That is really what he did under Nick. So the big difference is that Darko is not allowing him to do that kind of stuff or giving him exactly that kind of way of scoring. So in some ways, Gary's got to rely on getting the catch from the drive and kick, from the passing around, and being ready to shoot it quickly from open shots. And he's failed at doing that role. And in some ways, what he did last year is more difficult. That's why it's so frustrating to me, because him making his own shot and dribbling around, taking side steps, doing all this kind of stuff, which Nick okayed, but Darko's not totally cool with. In some ways, what he should be doing in Darko's system should be easier because it's less work. But he's failing at it worse than he did last year. It's almost like Gary has to make it harder for himself for him to be successful. If it's too easy, he's going to miss. That's what I'm getting the feeling about on this. I think that's the biggest difference between this year and last year for Gary Trent, is that Nick Nurse let him do whatever the fuck he wanted to, because in some ways he needed him so bad to score to try and win. In some ways it's the same thing with Darko, but Darko's really the most important thing to him is his system. And Gary has to follow the system. And Gary, the style of play doesn't totally fit. Now, in some ways, that was the whole thing with Siakam too this year. Can you fit the system that Darko's putting out there? And Siakam, I thought, was fairly successful, but still, it wasn't for the future. And this may be the conclusion that Masai and Bobby come to with Gary, is that we tried to put him and fit him into Darko's system, but he's not making his open shots when it gets to him on the pass around. That makes him not very good compared to guys that will, like Grady. It's that right there. It's that right there. Yeah. David saying, and how much time has Gary had in that scenario? 6 weeks, 8 weeks, a stretch from 2 years. But I get what you're saying. I think it has to do with the fact that Nick was an asshole and the other 3 players did all the shooting. That's part of it. Nick was really feeding him and giving him a lot of stuff. Yeah, we're not talking about Knicks no more. Kareem saying, I won't be surprised if Scotty comes back with a new AI hand that's made of steel and programmed to never foul timely blocks and never misses a shot. He would call it the Noah hand. Oh my gosh. Kareem just showed up. He hasn't been here all chat. In fact, he wasn't here yesterday either, but now he just showed up and he just threw in a 3-pointer just for the hell of it. All right, that's a 3-pointer because you've managed to put the Noah system into this. This is so ridiculous. This is so ridiculous and crazy, Kareem. What a great comment. That's the comment of the day. That's the comment of the day. Day. Infamous is saying, salute, freaks. That was a dirty move by Nick Nurse to sign Doughton. I think it was a move to spite us. Nurse never used him when you were the Raptors. Now signs him. Nick's still holding grudges. I don't think that's how it exactly went down. I think what happened was Nick very valued Doughton, but he didn't use him. You're right. And it was really weird what happened at the end of last year. Now, we did not keep Doughton in training camp. Remember, we talked about this a lot. I'd rather keep him over Malachi. And I think we were right, honestly, even though. Listen, Jeffrey and, had his rights for the G League were with the Blue Coats. It's not even about Nick going and selecting him. that what happened in the whole scheme of things in the G League was the Blue Coats got his rights, and then he came up that way. And it may be under Nick's advice. But I'm not upset about this. I'm happy for Jeff. And I think that this will be a good thing in some ways. I don't know if the Sixers will win or do anything good because of it, but I'm just happy for Jeff to get somewhere. Yeah. All love to you, Milbester. No worries also. It was fun while it lasted. I just wish you hadn't gone like that, man. You didn't have to. You could have stayed here for a long time, my guy. Trevor's saying, I just hope Gary shows up tonight and doesn't run out. Yeah, I'm with that. Stargate saying bye, Felicia. Yeah, all the best, Milbester. Seriously. In some ways, I this is just one day, but in some ways, we do have rules here. And there are certain things. This is very Raptors centric. This is not an NBA channel. This is not a channel that's supposed to be talking about the Knicks every day. This is about talking about the Raptors every day, is what we're doing here. So unfortunately, man, it's all good. It's all good, Milbester. All due respect. I wish you well in your life. There's no ill feelings. It's just that you're not allowed in the clubhouse anymore. I apologize. Let's see. David, as if Milbester. Okay, yeah. Just to start saying, you tell him, Lex. Wayne saying we're totally biased to the Raptors. We are absolutely totally biased. Well, Milbester will say this. At least the Raptors are better than the Lakers. You know what? I'm going to give you a dunk on your way out just for that. At least he said that. On his way out, he got one little dunk in because he said we're better than the Lakers. All right, there you go. See, that's what I like. Onions, baby, onions. Let's see. David's saying, I'm disappointed too, Lex, but well done. That was insane. Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad, man. I like that guy. Infamous saying, we can't be that triggered when people don't support the teams or don't like our team. We just have to pass the hate. Let's go, Taps. Let's go, Raps. Well, it's just that this is a clubhouse. This is not a normal channel. This is not like I'm Raptors Digest. This is not that I'm Locked On Raptors. This is not Sportsnet. This is not TSN. This is not Raptors Official. This is a fan space for Raptors fans. And we talk about the Raptors in a polite, prideful way, in the right way. We can be constructively criticism. Listen, I've allowed a lot on this channel at times if somebody has good graces, but Milbester kind of stepped over the line in a couple ways that were just not the right way of doing it. And if he was being sarcastic, he didn't really mean it. He shouldn't have done that because I can't read sarcasm. And it's just how it is. Stargate saying, that's why I blocked that Milbester dude weeks ago. I'm glad Lex finally saw the light and banned him. Better late than never. Well, in some ways, that's sometimes how it works, Stargate. I mean, we can think about our Odyssey with Fun Guy this year. We can think about other people in the past. It just happens. In some ways, this is not for everyone. I'm not going for quantity here. This is about quality. And if it was about quantity, I'd market my channel totally different. I put it on blast totally different. I do shorter streams. This is about what we like doing here as Raptor Free Family. And I'm not trying to get like thousands and thousands and thousands of subscriptions. I just want the real ones, the ones that are here. And in some ways, it's a privilege to be here. Honestly, it is. And, some people don't take that privilege like respectfully. That's it. Real Raptor fans like y'all get all kinds of allowances. When somebody's of another nation, in some ways, I got to really be sensitive to them. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Yeah. David's saying, yeah, I blocked him too because he seemed kind of nice and I didn't want to be a dick to him and he drove me fucking crazy. See, he was doing it out of like mercy to him. he's like, I wanted to be nice to him, but I couldn't help it. And then I just blocked him. Tom's saying, infamous, he was triggered, not me. He wanted to piss us off. He even admitted he was just being sarcastic. Well, it's not totally like, it's almost like his personality was different today. Like, it's not the normal Milbester that we've been dealing with for a few months, like since the trade, really. We started talking to him after the trade when we traded OG is when he showed up. So he's only really been here for like 2 or 3 months. Seems like way more, doesn't it? I just got me and Grady on blast. David's saying, yeah, he's just being condescending. Yeah, that's what it was. I can't read it that way. I can only read what you guys say. Now, meeting y'all in person, like David and Kareem, yeah, I can understand kind of the way you guys are and hear it in your voices a little bit. But for the most part, yeah, it's like, I don't know him. I don't know what he does to joke. I don't know what his sense of humor is. Infamous saying, Tom Duke, I get it, but I would have just ignored him or roasted the hell out of him. Well, a little bit of both. I'm ignoring him now, and I roasted him a little bit on the way out. It is what it is. Tom's saying he's just slowing us down by timing him out. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm at noon right now, and we've spent a good chunk of this stream focused on Milbester. That's not what we should be talking about. We should be talking about the Hornets. That's what the problem is right there. Infamous saying wouldn't have banned him. Well, I'm banning him. I don't care. In some ways, it's like, look, I have a patience, but in some ways, it's like, look, he's going to turn around and do this at some point later and just piss me off in the middle of things. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Is he really contributing that much to us that we're going to miss? I mean, he's going to check in with us on the Knicks and the Raptors and different things. And in some ways, it's not necessary what he's doing. I like talking to him because I wanted the scoop on OG and Precious and things that were happening in New York. But in some ways, he's not really helping me with that. That's what I wanted, was like him to try and give me reports on like, well, Precious did this last night, and I really feel like he's doing well on this, but he's not doing this. And then I could talk to him with the context of us being Raptor fans, seeing Precious play for us before, and kind of talk to him in interesting ways that way. That was really what I was hoping Milbester would do. But he wanted to talk more about the status of the Knicks a lot, and baseball, and just all kinds of other topics that just aren't really focuses for this channel. And that's just how it is. Trevor's saying, bye-bye, Milbester. Have a safe travel. Make sure the fuck off. Trevor J, not missing him. So not very much a fan of him either, Commissioner J. Yeah, it is what it is. Jill's here. Good morning, freaks. Good morning to you, Jill. So I'm saying Lex does all the banning. I just want a good chat for him to play off of. Yeah, see, Tommy's really, that's part of the moderator's jobs, is to kind of like I tell you guys, if the comments are good for the stream, I love them. Like if they make sense, they're funny, we get a laugh from them, that's great. But if they're just not conducive for like good commenting, like it's just like, I know a lot of y'all want to say hi to each other. I'm going to just start skipping those highs, because when you're reading saying like Canadian Cowboy saying hi to Infamous, Infamous says hi to Canadian Cowboy, it's just not very good stream content in some ways. Yeah. Infamous saying, I roast non-Raps fans all the time. That come at me, laugh out loud. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. And in other places, yeah, I have no jurisdiction. These things that happen. This is like a safe space. This is like a clubhouse. You could think of us as being like little kids and saying, yeah, you're not allowed. You're not allowed. That is exactly how this is. In some ways, we've been humoring Milbester and letting him come into the clubhouse and sit in the meetings with us and talk to us when, we didn't have to do that. We really didn't have to do that. So I liked having him here until today. I really did. I did. Let's see. Stargate saying, Infamous, you are the minority. His banning was way overdue. He has been low-key disrespecting this channel and the Raptors fans in here for weeks now. Bye, Felicia. Yeah, I think that the consensus is like, if we put this to vote and on members, good standing members here, I think most of the people would agree with me banning him today. I think they would. I think Trevor, I think Monique, I think Tom, I think Stargate. Yeah, they're all kind of saying the same thing. I was just saying, hi, David. I'm actually just checking to see if I pissed you enough to be blocked. Isaac's so funny, man. Isaac has a really funny sense of humor. You're gonna get a dunk. That's pretty funny. He's checking to see if David blocked him. Let's see. Stargate saying, sometimes as Canadians, we are perceived as soft and overly polite, and people, especially Americans, love take advantage of us that way. Sometimes we have to check them hard, just like on a hockey rink. Yeah, into the boards, baby. No, I agree. Stargate's right. And I know from growing up in the States as a Canadian kid in an American school, yeah, there are a lot of weird perceptions and a lot of weird things about it. And in some ways, that's part of why I have an edge, is because I was raised in Florida as a Canadian. So I'm like American Canadian. So I'm a hybrid. That's a little bit more why I'm a little bit more rude than the average Canadian, is because I have American raised background in my life. Raised in Florida by the grace of God. Jill saying, no more Milbester. He had stopped listening to Lex. I couldn't see him anymore after blocking him. See, Jill blocked him too. That says a lot. Jill blocked him. That says a lot. Jill's a very, very understanding, nice person, and she blocked him. Life is so short. There you go. Jill saying, Chev, I made a big deal to him about ignoring Gary's plantar fasciitis. Gary came back too soon. Yeah, I don't know what Chev's saying. He's got some content about Gary these days. James is saying, we don't care about Knicks, this Raptors land. That's right, James. James is a new up-and-coming Raptor freak, been commenting way more recently, and I agree with him. Jill saying, I think Canadians can use American assumptions about us to our advantage. I think that's true, too. I think that's very true, Jill. Cool Cat saying, haha, the Noah hand for Scotty. I love that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Cream's funny, man. Cream is funny. Tommy, I love the emoticons there. Cool Cat saying Nick actually likes Doughton Jr. Even over Flynn. It just never worked out with the front office. We drafted Flynn, so he had priority over Doughton Jr. That's exactly right. The money was already in the books for Malachi, and when we traded him, I don't know if it could have worked with the Doughton going forward. Unfortunately, I wanted that to happen, but there was no way. I think it was just not a path. Stargate saying that Jill, and that's what Lex did. He was nice and respectful to Milbester for a long time, even took up for him on many occasions when other people were going at him. But that last comment was out of pocket. Yeah, he just did a heel turn. He kind of did it on purpose, I think. I don't know why he did it. I'm thinking the timing has to do with Scotty's injury for some reason. Maybe he was afraid of us with Scotty playing, but now that Scotty's out, he's like, oh, they're not going to beat us. I'm not worried about them, so I can dump all over him. I don't know why he did it. Jill's saying, we see fun guy around Raptor chat sometimes. He hasn't really changed. Go Raps, go. Yeah, if he sees me in there, he'll talk trash to me. He calls me baldy. I don't care. I shave my head on purpose, and I like having a bald head. It's fun. It's low maintenance, and I don't have to spend money at the hairdresser. I don't have to go to the barbershop. I can do it myself. I do it like every other day. I can shave my head. It's really easy. But yeah, that's what he calls me. He tries to crack on me for not having hair. It's fun. Let's see. Jill saying, yes, Stargate. It's been a long time. Yeah, I don't even know. I think it was only like 3 months, y'all. He showed up when we traded OG. It's not like it's been a long, long time. Seriously. Peter's saying, Tom, you're amazing. Look at that. Peter Saborin just showed up. What is Peter doing here? This is weird. Why is Peter here? All right, we're going to give Peter a dunk just for showing his face in the chat. Peter, fantasy basketball powerhouse. Look out. Hey, Peter, let's go, brother. Yeah, let's go. Tom gets a dunk. Peter gets a dunk. Peter Saborin. Awesome. Hello, brother Saborin. Have a cookie. See, Jill's giving Peter cookies now. Don't you know David gives Peter cookies all the time in real life? Peter's saying, everyone seems to have blocked that guy. Too funny. Only Lex could see his comments. Laugh out loud. Yeah, good to see you, Peter, my guy. You are so impressive this season with your fantasy team. All right, let's do a wrap up. We're just over 12. Not too bad. All right, let me see if the injuries have changed at all for the Charlotte Hornets. They have changed just slightly. I think not really. Okay, Cody Martin is out. Seth Curry is out. And Nick Richards is day-to-day now. So Brandon Miller is not on the injury list anymore. So their rookie, Brandon Miller, should be playing tonight. I don't know the status of Miles Bridges and his legality to enter Canada. It could very well be. He's not allowed to come into the country right now. He's not going to be present. But right now it's looking like Cody Martin, Seth Curry are out, and Nick Richards is day-to-day. Brandon Miller is going to play now, as of now. On our side of things, of course, we know the injuries, Scotty and Marquise, and that's it. We've been trying to figure out who's going to start instead of Scotty, and we have a couple of names. We think it's either going to be Kelly, Bruce, Grady, or Chris. I think Chris Boucher has an outside chance. The referees for our Raptors game at 6 p.m. today against the Hornets are Mark Lindsay, Natalie Sago, and Jonathan Sterling. Mark Lindsay and Jonathan Sterling favor the Raptors. Natalie Sago favors the Hornets, which is very interesting to me. All right, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Of course, LeBron got 40,000 points, and Milbester wanted to talk about it. He really, really did want to talk about it. Yeah. So hopefully we saw this doctor's clip from earlier today saying that injury like what Scotty has, it takes a month normally. So maybe he is going to be back by the end of the season. We'll have to figure it out. DJ Carton getting signed to a two-way contract with the Raptors, so he's a two-way now with the 905 and the Raptors. That's awesome. I love that so much. All right, make sure you check on your teams. The stretch run is here. There's only one playoff spot open, and if you want to get it, well, it's going to be tough to get it at this point. That's right. Smash the like button. Thank you, Jill. Dr. Sutton. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Jill, in the Facebook chat. I watched it before I went on there. It was extremely, extremely informative and really, really good stuff. Monique saying, I'll do my best today. You do it. Bring those vibes, Superfan Mo, down to the arena and help the Raptors beat the Hornets today. Trevor's saying, we're going to give the Hornets Canadian maple syrup tonight. Maple sauce? Yeah, that 100% Canadian maple syrup. Get a good double-digit lead and wire-to-wire win and just beat the hell out of them. Get an entertaining game for the Raptors fans so that they feel a little bit better about the injury with Scotty recently. Fiercey saying, W Stream fam, and I'm debating watching the game tonight with our announcers or Charlotte's. Their vibes. The Hornets announcers, oh, yeah, Del Curry. Del Curry calls the game on the other side. And in some ways, that's kind of fun. to hear our old Raptor voice, Del Curry. All right, let's do the main event marquee matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Scotiabank Arena. And tonight we have a matchup between the Charlotte Hornets and the Toronto Raptors. Tonight, in this corner for the Toronto Raptors, this is from Mississauga, number 9, RJ Barrett. And on this side, for the Charlotte Hornets, this is the rookie for the Hornets, Brandon Miller of Alabama. And their competition today is going to be a decathlon. We're going to see who can run, jump, and hurdle and hurl the best. We'll do a hammer throw. We'll do a steeplechase. We'll do a 50-yard dash. We'll do the shot put. We'll do the pole vault. We'll do all of it. Who do you think will win in that competition between RJ Barrett and Brandon Miller? Yeah. Put Grady on the starters today. That's what Neil's saying too. There's another vote for Grady to start today. There you go. That's been like the 4th person that said that today in the chat. There you go, Neil. You're right on it. And there's Jillian with the Scotty heads. Sigh. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you feel like joining, well, you get access to our Facebook chat, which has updates on our injuries and all kinds of stuff all the time going on. And any kind of breaking Raptors news. If you want to be on the know right in the moment, well, join us on Facebook. We really do break everything right away in there. All right, I appreciate everybody. We got to beat the Hornets. Don't mess around. This may be the best chance for the Raptors to get a big W in the near future. So don't fuck around with this. Do not fumble the ball on this one, Raptors. You may not have very easy chances to get wins. This may be one of the games that you have a good chance to. So don't fumble that ball. Beat the Hornets tonight. Don't play with your food. Take care of business. Get that 100% Canadian maple syrup lead and win that game. That's what I'm saying. Make the threes. Make 19 threes today. I love it, Neil. I love that recipe. Let's get that, Raptors. Let's go, Raptors.